Let me say welcome once again. Welcome. People's Talk Show. You're in tune to Genesis Radio. Got it right this time. No Galaxy. How you doing? Let's just setting things up. God, it's a long haul coming in. Trust me. You lot should really appreciate what we do here. I haven't got a life, you know. Not that, it's not a biggie, but at the end of the day, you're a biggie, really. I don't moan about it. Well, so nothing. Hold on. No. Got it. Yeah. So what I'm saying now. Yeah. How you doing? It's wonderful, surprisingly warm day. Weather's been fooling me a little bit because they say, we're finished with this heat wave. Yeah, no. It's heat wave.
What heat wave?
No, they said we're finished with it.
Some Jamaica heat. This is England, darling. Heat wave.
No,
sunshine.
Yeah. Well, no. What I'm saying is,
a nice wave of heat.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah. Heat wave. No. What I'm saying is that they told us that it's all over and the heat's all over, so you sort of come out thinking, let me just put an extra layer of garms on, because you expect to be cold. You look funny sweating, but it must be one of the longest summers we've had, so I'm not complaining. You want to sit down? You've been on your foot long, waiting for me. I know you've been on your foot a long time.
Sitting around the corner.
You hold that in your hand? Don't move that. You're not going to fall.
It's going to fall. I fixed it last time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I fixed it. Remember I turned it and it was fine.
Well, you try and turn it then if you want to, but I know it's going to come off. It's like an ancient studio here, It's got some dinosaur stuff in here. That's how poor we are, see? I ain't begging anyone for anything, but if you feel... hint. If you feel like you want to contribute to help us out, that's fine. Feel free to do that. Exactly. So as we trot along in this time and space and team, I hope everything is cool, and let me rise up management and all the technicians and that go in to make up a formidable team down here in the Genesis neck of the woods. Yeah. Do you want to put a chair through? Are you alright? Cool. Yeah, so let me rise up management and technicians and all the presenters here in the Genesis studio radio station. Been going a long time now. Those of you who are
that's quick.
Bloody hell, they haven't even got started yet. Try to talk to them and find out what they want before we line it up. Have a word. They're not connected.
Hello?
Yeah, so
we just connected. If you can call back in about 5 minutes.
No, 10 minutes. When we say the lines open.
Basically, what it is, we've just come in. We're just setting up everything.
Yeah, when the lines open and gives a chance, brethren. Ain't wasting no time. What do you say? What did the go on?
This is radio.
Okay, right on.
Come in here,
yeah. And so let me say this is the People's Talk Show, as you know, and I have Aaliyah.
See what I mean? No.
What?
After you have me hanging about for how long waiting for you? Neveyah, come on now. I'm going to start taking it personal.
No, you don't need to.
It's going to get messy. It's going to get messy.
I don't know you was there. I never did know you was that, mate.
Your granddaughter's got the same name.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I've got to switch consciousness just to...
Don't try it, because last week you said, you know what, I remember that.
I don't remember it, but I don't have a memory. I don't have a type of mind for...
It's okay, I understand age and all of that.
It's not a build age, mate. It's just
okay,
that,
it's okay.
when you commit things to your long-term memory, then you...
Okay, so what would you call me and remember?
Good reasons to do that, commit...
Maybe you need to find a name that you'll remember. Because obviously mine ain't that special that you don't remember.
Why can't you use that one?
No, because I don't know my first name.
It's not my fault, is it, that you don't want to use that?
Okay, Heru.
Right on.
I caught onto yours straight away.
Yeah, damn right. Look how long that was ago.
Yeah, not long.
But, you know.
Anyway, I don't feel insulted. Well, I do actually feel insulted because I think by now you should know my name.
You see, that's not the point, though. You asked me to remember a new name, Brett.
It's not a new name. It's
a new
my
name for
name.
me. I don't know you like that.
Listen.
So it's a new name. Okay? You dig?
If I was on the TV, you'd remember my name now, wouldn't you?
Right. Depends what you're doing on the TV, Bridget.
Oh, if I was at 3.5, you'd know my name.
Yeah,
I'm joking.
I don't even know for that.
No.
But anyway, introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. Heru always gets it wrong, as you know. It's Neveyah. Heaven spelt backwards. Neveyah. Hope everybody's having a blessed day.
You know what? Give us a couple of minutes and we'll be back with you right early.
Right early or right away?
Right early. New phrase. Okay, here we are. Right on. Ready to go. What we want to discuss this week and to put it out there to you is the situation we find ourselves in with the killing of the recent killing, which they reckon it's the highest. What they're saying statistically, it's gone up now on average. Then it's probably for how many years? It's the highest for.
I don't think it is. I think
that's what they say.
People are reporting it.
Well, this is it. So, but whatever it is, it's happening on a wide scale.
Yeah.
And, we talk about a lot of things, and we seem to not to be able to produce any solutions to the problem like that. So, we want to see. You see, sometimes you can have these things, right? And then you can.
Are you okay?
Yeah, you can. Don't find a solution to the problem, but you can talk about it all day long. Like, it's nothing wrong with even talking about things, because that was like, yeah, you can talk about things. Nothing wrong, but maybe you will arrive at a solution at some point.
Maybe there isn't a solution. Have you thought about that?
Well,
because no matter what people try, it doesn't work. Maybe I think it's just when you get through to an individual, you can change one, or you can change many, but you can't change them all. Because where does the aggression and the violence come from? It's got to stem from somewhere, hasn't it? Where do you get the courage from to do certain things? Because remember, there's people out there that will like, for example, stabbing someone. It's not anybody that can just. There's that first time it happens, and not anybody. I'm sure. I believe that not anybody's got it. Maybe if your life was in danger, maybe in self-defense, unconsciously you just grab a knife or whatever. But to have in your mind, you know what?
But you know what, Mattea? You see, with that, you know what? How I understand it to be that the personality type.
Wrong.
It all depends. You know what I'm saying? Why I say that is because when studying astrology and personalities and things, you find that people who are born in certain years, like my star, I reckon.
You guys were hooligans in your day.
No, but even my star, I reckon that possibly I could do that. You get what I'm saying?
No, do you know why?
Because you've got the wherewithal. You know what I'm saying with you? The temperament. So temperament means that's all involved in your personality, because it has to have heat.
I think anybody can do it, but there's something that maybe it's conscience.
No, but there's some people that maybe got a problem.
Maybe it's a feel hurt. That's what I'm saying.
So it all depends on. That's why I said it. But it comes down. If I really wanted to study a person, this is what they do when they're studying doing murder as well. They go into the portfolio of the personality of the
sometimes they
don't just condemn them and don't have a looking into their type to see where they can usually use that as spreading across the genre and to say okay, and we find that in studying the personality types, you find that there's certain personality types that will have no problem in committing these things, you see, and they don't know that, and then especially at a younger age, when they see themselves as being, I don't know what they see themselves as though, and there's a lot of things missing, and I don't think in the mental world, there's a lot missing there. you know, and some people can take pain and some people can't. So they find out those who can usually gravitate around that kind of a personality trait that houses the ability to take another person's life. But at the end of the day, well, take another person's life just for the hell of it. You know, no reason. The first thing you want to do is take your life, brethren. There's got to be something wrong with someone with that kind of personality trait, and there's a lot of them around today. And I think mainly as well, what makes it like that as well is the drugs that they're on drugs, and they take all sorts of, you know, narcotics in order to give them that unction. So I think for them it's the memory, and they don't want to remember. They don't want to think about it. That's why when you have some gang members with family, that sort of takes away their ability to become, to act out their, what I would say, fantasies within the gangs, because they've got family. And once you're a bad man and you got children, then you can't be a bad man anymore. Because if you've got children, people, if they can't get to you, they'll get through your children. And it's what a lot of these gangs related incidences, and then what we can look at it as a subculture. So we want to explore this a bit and see whether it is a subculture really, which the government can't really ignore, and sometimes government even
ignore it,
accommodates people with that, like the mafia runs some of the government, runs the government, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And especially when you look at in Jamaica, where you got the dads, the dads them, but some of the dads, they will send the children to school.
Do you say dads as in father?
No, dads.
What is that?
Dads would call, what do you call it? Dons, dons. We call it dads and dons, you know what I mean? Let's just say we're the wrong number. You're calling the wrong number, 475. Hold on, one sec. Hello? Yep. You're calling the wrong phone, bro. Yeah, you need to call can I give you the number? You can call when the phone's open. Are you you're calling Genesis, right? Yeah, so do you want to have a number? Right, the number is 074 04 36 07
404
0704.
No, 0740.
Oh, sorry. Let me give you this. Sorry, it's my fault. 074
04
04
367
367
618.
367 618. So that's
the phone line's open yet?
Yeah. As soon as the phone line's open, we'll let you know so you can contribute. Yeah. Enough respect. That's all right. Sorry about that, folks. I had to do that.
That's okay.
Yeah. So you see, what happened is when you find, like what you call the dads, isn't it? The people that
the dads.
Yeah, the dads. So we
the
call
dons. I don't know. My generation doesn't know what a dad is. We know dons and
dads,
big boys, boss, top man.
That's right, and it's not. I reckon it's in every society.
Of course.
You know, I don't think it's just down to the black community.
Oh no!
Yeah, remember the old craze, right?
Oh yeah,
the craze.
Oh, I love the craze.
You love the craze?
Oh yeah.
What do you love about the craze, bro?
They're so suave.
Yeah, suave. Yeah,
They were so suave.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
Oh, wait. We're whistling here.
A little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So what? Can you hear that? Okay.
Okay, I'm fine.
Right on. So there's in every society you got the dads in it, or the dons, or like the craze who
the daddies
chop your hands off if you steal. If you come from their ends, you get what I'm saying. Usually, administer their own.
That's past tense. Like people will take your life for stealing.
No, they do that now. Even now.
Really?
Yeah, they do that now, brethren. Okay. Some of the gangs, if you're not from their ends, you're coming in their manner to steal.
Their end, he means by that area, for those who do not know.
Everyone must know that boy and how petrol.
No, but there's some people that actually don't. There's some people that don't. Remember, we had a caller the other day, and some of the words we had to actually ask. What do you mean?
Well, that's common, isn't it? So on the ends, right? You have. See, I'm not that old, am I?
Actually, while saying on the ends, you're showing out.
See, twice over.
It's okay.
So, having these people within communities, and the government would probably manipulate them.
Yeah, of course.
Because if you look at Jamaican politics, they go out giving these youths guns. You know, I mean, near election time, drive around. You know, I can't believe what I was hearing.
Yeah, I remember when I went to Jamaica. It wasn't. Well, I can laugh now. I couldn't laugh then. When I got off, I was wearing green. And the person said, "Take it off." I was like, "What? Take it off!" And I had to go in the toilets, and I had to change to all white.
Really?
Yeah. They said it wouldn't be safe for me to go through that area.
In green?
Yeah. Their colour was red or something. And they were all wearing red. Remember, I'm an English girl. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just coming off the plane in my old, and we can wear any colours. But they was like, had red bandanas on and things in their pocket. And I was like thinking, okay, that reminded me a bit of the like Bloods and Crips and
yeah, Bloods.
Yeah. And yeah.
But with saying that, why is it ain't working anymore? Oh.
It would help if you plug it into the hole. Would you like me to plug that in for it to charge?
Can you find it?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so with that in mind, we want to explore and see whether, I mean, it's not really a blame game we want to go into. But we want some understanding, and and the thing about it, we've never got the youths in to call in, and the youths never will.
I can get used to coming and talk to you.
Yeah, that's okay. But I need them to try to explain because the way I see it now, the youths of today are completely different youths from yesterday.
They're angry.
Yeah, they're completely different youths.
You know why?
I don't know, and I think I understand why it is and all.
Why is that then?
Because of the
Tell me from a man's perspective.
Government legislation on discipline.
I don't believe
yeah, man. Because back in the day, if you got more beating, right? Yes, beating. It's a good word.
I didn't say a word.
Good word for it.
Is it?
Beating.
Is it really?
Yeah, I do.
You mean overly abuse? Yeah?
Maybe no. See.
Because back in the day, a beating was in this day abuse.
No.
Yeah.
See, I don't agree with that because
plates, shoes, belts.
That's politically.
That's the West Indian way.
That's trying to make it, acceptable politically by saying abuse. Now, I know that people do get abused. Children get abused physically like that.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, it doesn't matter because
why?
At the end of the day, we never had this kind of.
What do you mean it doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter because it worked because we never had this kind of a thing going on.
No, it didn't work. Do you know why it didn't work? No, because that anger was passed down to the next generation.
No, it weren't.
Yeah, it was because parents. You got to look at that. I don't know if your parents beat you as you put it. Of course they beat you, mate. Well, people say to me as a parent, they say, "Oh, you're so soft," because I don't beat my kids.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
listen, my 10-year-old's never even had one smack. Yeah, my 20-year-old has never had one smack. The next one up, she's had one smack, and that's it. No, and they're very level. They're very stable. But what it is, I had a beating on a regular basis. And it kind of suppressed me for who I am. Do you understand? So what happens? It could have gone either way. I could have said, yeah, that's right, and I could have beat my kids. My kids could have been aggressive or whatever. And why? Because they see me do it. They think it's right. Violence.
But do they smack their children?
I don't know. I can't say. I don't know. They're adults. Do you know what I mean? They're adults. How they don't discipline. They talk to them. See, the thing is, it's a catch-22. For some people it works. For some people it don't. Me personally, all right. Some kids need to be dragged up by the scruff of their neck. And be spoken to. But then the way you see some of these kids getting beat on, I'm not talking about indoors because obviously you can't see in people's houses, but on the road, see some women whooping up some asses, but I see some little kids like 6 and 7 telling their mothers about their effing selves and slapping up their mum and arguing on the bus, and I'm like, you know what, you need to get your pity under control, And I would say, excuse me, do you know, that's very rude, right? And obviously the parents don't like it.
You would jump in the middle of that?
No, I do. Because you know what? This is the way I look at it.
People get killed like that.
Yeah, well, you know what?
So you're prepared to die for someone like that? Just intervention?
Can I be honest with you? I don't believe I will die. Do you know why? Because I don't just intervene. You can see when somebody needs help. You can see when somebody needs help. You can see when somebody can't cope.
Two of them might turn around on you, because sometimes that's what often happens. Both of them turn. You can't talk to my mum like that.
It's never happened. Do you know why? Because when you talk to people, you talk to them. You talk with them. Don't talk at them. You don't go or just go wading in. You don't do that.
Well, the thing is, now we have people that would really intervene in people's affairs. Whereas back in the day, we wouldn't do that as such. Yeah, we wouldn't go into them in business.
Really?
Yeah, serious.
Maybe that's your generation.
No. If you was on a bus and see, back in the day, I see a lot of children getting licks on the bus, and we don't just turn our head.
That's your generation.
But now,
not in my generation.
because of this politically rubbish thing they got going on about abuse, child protection, overboard. I reckon they're using a sledgehammer to crack a nut here. And what's the result?
Why?
But look at the result, brethren. You can't even talk to your children. As you said, you hear children. But you hear children saying "f off, mum." You know, back. You think I could tell my parents "f off"? Not the home.
Sometimes it's not. You know the problem. What I think the part of the problem is, I don't personally, I don't believe that, because a lot of people don't give a damn what the government say when it comes to disciplining their children. I'm telling you, a lot of people don't business,
Yeah, but sometimes children will actually call.
Yeah, I know children that have called police on their parents. I know children that have called. I know children that, and the mothers, like, oh my days. I was talking about it the other day with someone, and they've got
a personal hatred for the child.
No, she doesn't.
Well, I know a mother that's done that, and because the child had called the police. She doesn't like that child one bit.
Everybody's different.
She hates.
You can't hate your own child.
It's not real. Oh, yeah, is it? Huh? We ain't taking it. Yeah. Now the lines ain't open. Yeah, give us half a chance to warm up, geezers. Come on. We want to get.
Could be a lady.
Yeah, because unknown caller.
Private caller. Can you call back in a?
We'll call back shortly. We will open the lines in a memento.
Please.
Thank you. So let me give you the numbers so you can get them ready. Numbers are 074 04 36 76 18. And I repeat, 074 04 36 76 18. And the text line number is text line only, because we can't put you live through that because no one will hear you. So you can text on that while I read out the text. I haven't got my glasses again.
It's okay. Text line is 07931 276 232. That's 07931 276 232, and that's texts only.
Right. So what we were saying, and we're discussing the incident where a family was devastated. The grandfather came to watch his son die, because the grandfather, he said the grandfather a few times run them from the selling drugs outside the house. This is what I was get to understand.
That's not what I read.
Well, this is how many incidents is there?
The person, apparently they was, what paper did I read it? I read The Guardian, I read The Standard, and there was another one. And basically, what it was saying, they kind of was similar, but didn't differ too much.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
and what they said was, apparently these guys were selling drugs at the guy's doorstep, outside the door at the guy's house. Apparently they'd had some kind of run-in previously, and every time they would come back, he would run them. And on this particular day, apparently it said I think it was about 5:30. They said the police were called to a big fight, but it wasn't actually a big fight. One of the neighbours had come along, and the police had said to them, "Can you get some towels or something?" Because the person was stabbed in their head, stabbed in their neck, and stabbed in their leg.
Animals, isn't it?
Yeah, but you've got obviously there's always a bigger picture to everything. There's always a bigger picture to everything.
But what
I mean by there's a bigger picture to everything. Like, where these might not have even been the guys that he ran from his house. These could have been the big boys. Do you understand?
Yeah, but
because you don't tend to get too many, because it said the guys that were arrested were 40 years old. You don't, in some areas you do get 40 years old.
Really, the 40-year-old, the ones that were fighting.
Yeah, apparently two 40-year-old men have been arrested.
Someone sold for the youths then, isn't it?
Right, no, but that's what I'm saying. So maybe
really
these are, what do you call them? You older guys call them the daddy.
Dads.
Right, well maybe they were the runners that he run. And they've gone and they've got and they've said, where's my money, whatever, and they.
So what you're saying is then that this could be the result of the older ones having the younger one under their scrutiny and running the things.
Not a matter of scrutiny, but a matter of why. It could be a case of why are you not bringing back enough money? And then they say, oh, this guy keeps running us, he don't want us to sell outside his house. Could be anything, obviously. I don't know.
Well, I saw a clip, let me tell you, some months ago, about a year now, this same thing, they call it the trap houses.
Oh, yeah.
Where they put children to sell drugs, to get them to buy the trainers and thing, and buy their clothes because their parents ain't giving them. And here this feisty boy now, it was a white boy's boy, feisty boy coming there and talking about,
what's colour got to do with it?
Look, are you saying, this is my, see, our youths don't want nothing to do with you lot talking this and talking that about righteousness and them to, look, I'm their daddy, I'm their family, right? And if they want money, they come to me, right? And he said, don't come with my things. He pull out his weapon and show them. They get this, innit? I thought, you little in your face, rank and feisty. You come into the
but when he said that,
black community,
was there no confrontation? Because this is a problem.
This is the gang member. Once gang member was talking to him about it. And the guy was upset. The guy was interviewing him, got really upset. He said, "What's this kid talking about? Feisty. I'm their daddy, yeah. And don't worry about you, silly people with stupid talk. You know what I mean?
You know what? You know what that is?
And the guy was really hurt that he was talking like that. And he was only trying to interview him.
Yeah, but why?
To get sense out of him. Because
that's what he wanted, isn't
it? So it's the standard of people that deal with these things, the level of their mindset.
Yeah, but you've like I said to you, you've got to look deeper. You've got to look beyond. And my reason for saying this, years ago, I'm a person, I don't judge nobody, yeah. And my circle there was a lot of bad boys in the circle, yeah. Not mine, friends, relatives and things like that. And one day this boy is from Peckham, and now he must be maybe about 32, 33. And he would come to the house, all of them would come down, their cousin lived around the corner. They would come down, they would chill.
What Peckham did you say?
I don't know about Peckham, but I know it's Peckham.
Peckham.
Sorry. Alright, Peckham. And basically one day he came to the door and he knocked on the door. I said, what's up? Your cousin's not here. You know what the boy said to me? He stood up in my face, about he's come to see his soldier. I said, beg your pardon? He said, I come to see him. I come to see my little soldier. Where's my soldier? So I said, let me tell you something now. I said, I don't know what soldier you're talking about. I said, but hear what? I said, see, every soldier in this house is under my command, yeah? And I said, let me tell you something. This is one war you will not win. So if you want to take it further, I said, you try it. And he started laughing. And he said, you know what? I got enough respect for you. He said, most mothers don't say that. They will just call their children.
Really?
Yeah. But you know what? A lot of people work through fear. Do you understand? And so this is the problem. I was actually talking to some people the other day and I actually said to them, you know what? Children get that inner strength from their parents. If you're a weak parent, and I don't mean weak in the sense of, because I'm not talking about strength wise, yeah? But you know what? You could brick it. And what I mean by brick it, you could be scared of everything. But you see, when certain things happen, your child needs to see you stand firm and stand strong. Do you understand? Because if your child sees you being submissive, it makes them think, as small as kids can be, makes them think. Do you understand? It's like, for example, oh God, you know the thing about it is, I've seen so much.
Yeah, but don't forget, because at the moment I know a friend of mine whose daughter is very naughty. She's only 12, and she's found a way, around the. I don't think she dominates appearance, or she's just rude that way. But she's this Instagram thing. She's meeting bigger men.
Yeah. So why are they not putting a stop to it?
Well, that's what.
Why are they not teaching us? Why have they not teaching her? But why have they not taught her self-worth, self-respect?
Well, we are. But I mean, I've had the chance, opportunity to speak to her as well, and tell her, say, look,
maybe she's looking for a daddy.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, there's all these things you might. You have
could be anything.
Take into account.
Maybe she just.
So
is
what we can.
Early.
What we can say is that people take advantage. And this is what I was saying from a long time. It's people taking advantage of other people. It's the so-called dads are the gangster.
No, you see
the gangsters, right? Knowing that the family's weak, brethren.
Not really, because sometimes they don't know. How do they know? All them children. Okay, there's children that have been gone missing from the southeast. Yeah,
they know,
and they've been taken to west and taken up by the coast and whatever to sell stuff. Yeah,
and come on with.
They don't know that. No, hang on, but they don't know their family. These are kids. They're meeting them at the chick shop. You ever heard of chicken shop grooming? Have you heard of chicken shop? Right. Yeah. You've got all of that, so you're not having no interaction with that person's family. You're grooming the child. Hang on, the youth. The young adult, or whatever you want to call it, yeah? You're not interacting with the family. If you're connecting with somebody on their route to and from school, do you understand?
Yeah, but you forget, they're not stupid. They know if the youths are out this time of night, and
what are you talking about?
The gang members know
when they leave school.
No. The gang members know.
Yeah.
If the child is disciplining them, because it wouldn't be the disciplined ones that they get. There would be the problematic ones in the family.
I have to disagree.
So they know that.
I have to disagree.
No, they can't go to
because the chicken shop groom in the chicken shop when the kids come out of school.
Yeah, but
3 o'clock.
Yeah, but what kind of children are coming out of school? That
you know that what they target.
They've got rough at home, brethren.
No, this is what they say. They target the very quiet. No, the very quiet ones. The ones that look like they won't get stopped. Yeah, there's a big thing been going on about this for over the past X amount of months.
Somebody who maybe like my sons who've been brought up, with my sort of bring up, come to them and tell and try that with them, brethren. You can't do that.
Yeah, but the thing is,
you can't do that. You can do that to somebody who's weak and vulnerable.
No, you can't.
Listen, let me show you. Let me show you.
Yeah.
When you can't afford to buy trainers for some of them.
Yeah.
And you can't afford to give them pocket money.
Yeah.
Then the opportunity comes for them to look, mate. Cause see these groomers. They're very clever, They look at the child and see whether it's kitted out. And if they see he's not kitted out, he probably wants a.
Do you know what?
Or a bag or whatever. Say, look, I can get you some money, Because that's how they do it. They take advantage of the vulnerable family, brethren.
Okay, let me tell you a little secret. The trainer thing, they don't do that no more. They don't look at people's footwear, yeah. And because basically a lot of people now don't send their kids to school in top brand stuff. Okay, they don't. A lot of parents don't do it. But it's not about their trainers. It's not about their trainers, because you know what? You could look at somebody. No, hang on. But somebody might not be kitted out, but it don't mean they're a pushover. It don't mean that they're going to be hungry. It depends on what you install in the person. No matter what they look like.
Yes, I'm saying to you.
Adults can be good.
So you can't. It's not a strong family member that they're going to go after.
Yeah, but how do
right? They're gonna know by the first time they get in touch with interact with them. They'll know whether this.
No, because it doesn't work like that. Grooming doesn't work like that.
No. Let me tell you, right? No one, no well-adjusted child is going to be influenced by someone who come on the street and say, look, I can give you money.
You'd be surprised.
I'm telling you, brethren.
You'd be surprised.
No way.
You'd be surprised. That's like saying, do you know what? That's like saying children that come from a family with 2 parents and lots of money are so stable, have no issues in their home, and they will become very successful. But let me tell you something. I know a lot of children people whose children are very successful, and they come from single parent families. Their children are very well adjusted and stable.
Yeah, but in the minority.
It's not a minority.
It is a minority, because number one,
in your eyes, it's in the minority.
You want to look it up?
Don't make me start talking about statistics.
Well, look it up, mate. Look it up. I can guarantee you that the juvenile delinquent is usually from a broken home.
No, not anymore.
Yeah,
Maybe in your day, not anymore.
No. It is
Not
the same way.
anymore.
Because number one.
Because a broken home can be a home with two parents. It can still be a broken home.
Yeah, but at least two parents are there. But you've got one parent.
Oh, so because there's two parents there, that makes it beneficial.
It does, because
That's look, that's a bit of a bigger thing to say.
No, you're looking at the exception to the rule here.
No, I'm looking at reality.
No. The rule is, if you've got a stable family, you produce stable children, brethren. Otherwise, you wouldn't be saying what you're saying then.
A married couple.
So what is a stable home,
Listen
brethren?
to what I'm saying to you, yeah? Because you're married, or because you have two parents in the house, whether they're married together, living in separate rooms, does not mean you're going to have a stable, well-adjusted child.
It does.
No, it does not.
Why?
Why does it?
So how do we have...
So we
don't have any stable...
Okay, so what you're basically saying is this, yeah? So I grew up in a house with a sister or a brother. I got my mum and dad, yeah. Dad's sleeping in one room, mum's sleeping in the other room. They don't really talk to each other too much, yeah. They kind of interact with the bills together, you know. Mum will go to these things with me, dad will go to me, but we don't go as a family unit. What? That's stable? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that's the rule. The exception that you're speaking about, you can find on one or two that happens. Yes,
really?
But generally, I mean, for myself, really? I haven't been to jail, brethren. I come from a stable.
I haven't been from
jail.
There you are. But I came from a single parent.
Yeah, but I haven't. And
my children, none of my children have gone to jail.
But that's what I said. The exception and the rule.
Why is it the exception?
It's not the norm, brethren. Otherwise, you wouldn't need. No, hold on.
Go on.
Let me finish. You see, you look at it.
I you to dominate the conversation.
No, I'm not dominating it.
I'm joking.
What I'm saying is that when it comes down to normality.
What is normality?
Normality is a well-adjusted home with mother and father and children, right? And just because the exception that there is doesn't mean to say that maybe you're keeping too long. Let's take it. It's people's talk show, isn't it? Hold on. Yeah. Go on. You're live on Genesis. Hold on. Go ahead. Hold on.
Can you hear?
Hold on. Yeah, go ahead. Call up.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So
sorry about
I think that's okay. I think what the two you is missing is one or two words. Is like structure and discipline.
Yeah.
When the mother, and I think most of the time when the mother and the father is there, they may not even be communicating proper, but if they can set a structure and some discipline on the children, that's when things can work out. The child will be more headstrong.
Okay, may I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What? So those you say a mother and a father will bring in structure and discipline, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
But
it's 2 heads, isn't it?
Right, it is 2 heads, but sometimes 2 heads are not better than one, because it doesn't mean that the child is going to get structure and discipline because they have.
No, you're right. I agree with you also with that.
Yeah, but hold on, caller. That's I spoke about the exception to the rule. I understand that not every child like that, but the majority, brethren, right? And if you do find a single parent family and they do manage to keep well groomed, well structured and all that's the exception.
Why?
I'm not saying that you can't find a one parent family with well adjusted children, but it's not the norm. People go into family with both parents. I mean, we don't just have children and just me want to go bring them up, brethren.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't do that. If it happens like,
it is better,
of course.
It's a foundation. That will be a more solid foundation. Plus the child will be, even if the father is there all the time.
Yeah.
As long as as long as the child is that it actually acknowledges, oh yeah, they have a father.
Yeah.
They have a mother. You know what I mean? And they set certain rules. The child can't just run loose and sit down how they want. You know what I mean? Talk how they want. They know that certain times they have to get themselves in order because a certain law is going to be set onto them. Anytime, even if you look you yourself, the both of you in the room, if you look at your friends, them and what certain people who could just do anything, anytime they want, and go with any you know what I mean? You notice that they react and act in a different way. But what I called up to talk about a brother called A.R.Ab, you know.
Who?
A.R.Ab.
What's
that? A brother from America.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I'm kind of switching it a bit.
Turn
but
it down a bit.
This is a brother who was interviewed. Have you heard of Vlad TV?
Yeah. What TV?
Vlad TV.
No, I know a few of those type of stations.
Okay, it's a YouTube site.
Yeah.
He interviews loads of rappers and like gangsters, mainly rappers, mainly musicians. Yeah. And he's noted for like interviewing people and people releasing deep information about their lifestyle.
Okay. Yeah.
He was the one that interviewed some English brothers last year in like in a cinema room, and the brothers was all like balaclavaed up.
Oh yeah.
And they were telling people, they told Vlad that they had access to guns and
wow.
And this man, they interviewed A.R. Ab, just
Okay.
a few weeks ago, and the man like a fool tell people, he told Vlad that how he had access to certain things, and Vlad asked him, so, and what are your future like ideas? He start tell Vlad, say, I buy property once a month. Me and my friends buy property once a month, every month. We make sure that. I said, that's you know what I mean? He's telling Vlad all his information, everything, all his plans. You know what happened? The feds, FED, they raided his yard a few days ago. He's now arrested.
Really?
And they're saying that he could face up to like whole heap of years in jail. And him like an idiot was on, like they said, he was on Instagram, and he was posing off with like $500,000
wow.
in cash on the table. And this is the man meant to be unemployed. So you see some of these younger people, yeah, when they put themselves in the media and all these social media platforms, I'm telling people all their business, you can't have no mercy for them.
Yeah.
They're stupid, man. This brother had almost $500,000 in cash.
Can you hear me now?
And you're showing the whole world what I got.
Yeah.
And you're unemployed.
Yeah.
And then not only that, the man asked you if you want to come on my platform and be interviewed. And the man's asking him very incriminative questions. And you there like fool, just give up the information like that.
Oh dear.
So there, even there again, yeah. If you go back to what the two of you saying, if he had proper parenting,
yeah,
they would implement that structure from day one. So
that's right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
So I still go back to you again. I still feel alright. Sometimes the two, the wife and the husband, might not be proper on the child, but I still think that's a good foundation for the children.
That's right. That's what we believe. This is why I said the family structure with both parents in there is a well ordered and well structured unit. Usually, I'm not saying there's no exception to that. There is one or two that could come across, one parent and thing, but they're not really, that's not the norm. The norm is to have.
In your day, it's the norm nowadays.
Look at even that same boy, the same man, A.R. Ab.
Yeah.
If he had an elder around him, don't you think the elder would have said, "Nah, man, stop doing interviews"? Something like Kanye West. Don't you think if Kanye had his mother around him because she's now dead? If he had his mother, he wouldn't be going. He wouldn't be doing the certain things he's doing.
Kanye West.
Kanye West.
Really? Yeah. But
I don't think he would have been doing the same thing because I think he kind of went crazy when his mum passed away.
Okay. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I still think you need people around you who can set a structure around you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who, when you're going too wild, they can pull you back.
That's right. And right now, these days over here in the UK, they don't like adults, brethren. And you know what it is as well? We've got some adults encouraging the youth them not to like the adults, brethren. You know that? I've listened to radio stations, yeah, where they if you listen to it, they're sort of encouraging the youth to be against the adults by saying, why the adults fault or not? The adults no good or not? I rate it. That's like having somebody in a relationship that turns the child against parents to say, poison their mind. So we've got adults that are poisoning the mind of the children. So they look at you and call you waste man. And I'm kind of thinking, hey, big man, you know what I mean? Like, no respect.
But even I hear some young youths approach me and say, like they want a cigarette. You're big man. Yeah. I want to tell him, who are you chatting to?
It sounds so insulting, doesn't it? Big man. Sounds disrespectful, brethren.
You don't even know me.
You know what I mean?
To me saying, so you're a big man. Big man.
You know, it's not endearing terms. What happened to sir? What am to excuse me, sir?
Yeah.
Can I have a cigarette, please?
Even if you said you're bridging.
Yeah, you're like me and them sides.
Yo, I'd rather yo.
Yeah.
I didn't even say yo. But when you say it's big man,
that's a kind of insult.
It's not. Do you know what it is? It's a term of endearment, but I think it all depends. Now, hang on. But what I would like, see, like with Heru, yeah. I don't know how old you are, sir.
Alright, sorry. Let me put on the phone and I'll call you back. Yeah.
Okay, respect. Yeah, man. Yeah.
I don't know how old this gentleman is.
I mean,
hang on.
Heru.
But what you got to understand, Heru, yeah. You're the older generation to me, yeah. And what you may see as disrespect, my generation may not, or the next generation may not, if you understand.
No,
what I mean is because it goes back to the term of endearment, baby father, baby mother. People found that offensive, but
that was in my generation.
No, but hang on, that was in my generation.
Before
but
yours.
The young generation, they don't want to be called no baby father, no baby mother.
Well, they want to be called.
But when they're saying big man, it's a term of endearment, as in big man, you're older than me.
So it is a subculture, because where they get that kind of language from, brethren?
You know what? It depends.
It's a subculture. It's not acceptable.
Areas.
Yeah, but that's not what they got taught in their home.
You don't know that.
What, to say big man?
Let me tell you something. My neighbour, when I hear the way my neighbour talks, I just look and I don't say a word. I don't say a word. It's my neighbour, Obviously, I got to live there, live in peace. So I just look and I just think, you know what? I never hear somebody talk so much street talk, road talk.
What, big man?
She could say, "Oh, blood. Who bloods their children? Oh, blood." Like,
how old is he? How old is you reckon then? Your neighbour?
My neighbour. She's a grown woman.
What do you call a grown woman?
She's a grown woman. She's like 39. She's a big woman. She's 39.
Oh.
Yeah, she's 39.
Yeah.
Who taught? That's. I'm sorry.
39.
And calling saying, "Oh, bloods." Oh, I hear her effing and blinding, and I sit there.
Yeah, but a woman of 39 would, if she was talking this language before.
That's what. Yeah, it's from what.
Yeah, so it's like when Jamaicans twang, they use my man. You see, this is where they got the big man from, because they hear their parents call him my man this, and my man that, my man come.
My friend.
As a youth, I used to listen to my parents talk about. I just wonder why when my dad saying that his man. I think, what way is he? Is he? You know what I mean?
I hope you didn't mean
no. I'm just saying it came over. That's when I got used to the word. Okay, you're live on Genesis.
Good afternoon.
Well, you know how, yes, Genesis.
Yeah,
good
man.
afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Why I don't know how you feel aware a youth man or a young man say big man, call you big man.
No, I don't trust it.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't trust it when somebody.
I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't. It's very intimidating. Hey, big man, you know when
intimidating to who?
When I have to say what that means to me is that I don't care how big you are. I'm gonna floor your brethren. That's the kind of vibe. That's
right. But that's what I'm saying about generations. That's what I'm saying about generations.
I don't care about how big you are.
No.
So paranoia kicks in.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's a personal thing though, because when you say to that man like, "Oh, big man," it's like because you're older than them. Do you understand?
I never said
but
that.
If you're from a different generation, that's what I'm saying. With different generations, terminologies are different. Terms of endearment are different.
Every year, you understand? I see you school me, big man. You understand? What can I say? They identify me different to their age.
You reckon?
I don't think so, because they won't be calling you big man, would they? Surely.
What do you mean?
Because if I'm like 17. I'm not calling my friend. You're not going to call like another 17 big man, because that ain't no big man to you, is it?
No, but this is what I'm saying, isn't it? It's just identifying that I'm an older man to them.
Yeah.
Big man.
No, you see, but listen, you forget one.
You're disagreeing with everybody today.
No, listen, I'm saying because I know gang members and things. Yeah. When they say that means they will fight you. That's what I mean. Hold on, let me finish. Yeah, they will fight you, and because you may think because you're a big man that they're not going to have any. They're going to be scared of you. So when they say a big man, especially if they could come to do you something, they still use the term big man.
Yeah,
a big man.
So
you know what I mean?
Really
you know what?
But right, hold on a sec. Yeah. So are you really telling me, that that when a young man says to you, big man, it conjures up all of those thoughts in your mind.
Yes,
really.
I'm telling you, all at once.
It must be. It must
I'm
be
on my guard.
neck of the woods.
No, I'm on my guard, brethren. Man, man, say, hey, big man.
Wow.
I don't know if he's going to come and rob me or you're going to stick me up or.
Oh, do you know what you're doing? Do you know what you're doing?
What?
You're putting people into groups.
Why?
Because what you're doing, you're making an assumption that because somebody talks a certain way, that they've got certain intentions.
Yeah, and they do.
From your neck of the woods,
they've got no respect for adults, brethren.
No, well, enough of them's got respect.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know there's some.
Enough of them's got respect.
But not the ones who use those terms. They don't have.
Yeah, listen, bro. No way, bro. No way. You understand what I'm saying, right? You got some youths out there that don't call you nothing. They're just checking you about whatever they're checking you about. You understand? Yeah, you got pound. You understand? Or whatever it is. You understand?
Or give me a cigarette, big man.
You understand? You go back to when you was a youth, and how did you check big man when you buck up on them? How did you see uncles?
I would say
there when you link them. You understand?
I call them sir, mate.
Some of them ain't even acknowledging them. You understand?
Yeah, but
upon even our listen, man. There's certain people that will say yes, dad. You understand what I'm saying to you, brother?
Yeah, but I call them sir, brother.
The reality is, hold on a sec. The reality is, I'm old enough to be their dad.
Yeah, but I call them sir. I call them sir.
So listen, Rob, but sir, what does that mean?
That means I got respect.
What I'm saying to you.
You want respect?
No, because they'll feel comfortable with me, right?
Listen,
I wouldn't feel
some of them ain't
comfortable
talking that sir nonsense, man. Come on, that's
not nonsense.
That's old school.
We understand that.
Huh?
You understand? We understand that. Even some youths I even say, yes, sir. How are you doing, sir? You understand?
Yeah, man, I prefer you to say that to me.
Do you know what?
This is what I'm saying to you, yeah? Right now, we're at a distance from our young and our youths. You understand? I will try to make words, if you like. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
Keep us separated, bro.
True.
You understand? Some of them youths want to reach out to big people. Some of the big people want to reach out to youths. But they're going to get stuck on what they think is respect or respectable. Come on, man, it's like a compromise, bro.
Yeah.
No, but you're asking me. Yeah, but you're asking me to compromise. You're asking me to compromise.
I'm not asking you to compromise. He's saying,
my brother.
Yeah, he's saying for two people to come together.
Compromise and give up your soul. You say, you're the one who talk about traumatized and certain things carried over.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying to you? Yeah. So some of the people then got that carried over traumatization, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to deal with it in it. So I'm not going to encourage them to. They're going to have to be.
It's not an encouragement.
They're going to have to be a certain way.
I don't see why all of that thought should be conjured up in your mind just because a young man or a youth calls you big man.
Listen.
Let
me tell you something. One day.
It goes into your idea of the beatings that we used to get.
No, listen. One day, but listen, you forget. One day we was ganged upon by four youths. Remember, my brethren driving in the car, and the 4 youths must have bad drive my brethren. My brethren bad drive back the youth. You them jump out of the car and come to the car. Hey, big man down road to get peas. No man don't come to get no.
Yeah.
And he's going on and the other car pulled up on the right hand side and.
Listen,
I know where the brothers come to me and say the one and next man was looking on and said, listen, don't you see that these guys are strapped? They're strapped, and the one in the car is strapped as well. You understand?
This is what
my brother was gonna lay them down because he come up to him, jump out the car and come straight up. Hey, big man in his face, big man, old peas and
but he could have calling him big man because you're bigger men today.
No respect, brethren.
I tell you what we need to do.
They don't have any respect.
Yeah? This is what I'm saying, yeah? What we need to do as a people, is keep our hands to ourselves, bro.
Yep.
You understand? Because we're too quick to use hands, bro.
Yep.
Not us. Not us.
Yes.
Well,
but it is though, bro. Because if there's an application of that, if there was more beating, then there wouldn't be the problem that we're in. It's because we're so quick to put hands on each other and our youths.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think so.
Listen, yeah. So our youths can't even be soft no more, bro.
Yeah.
No, we don't put our hands on the youth.
Girls them can't even be girls again.
Yeah, girls
have
got
to be ratchet
like
if you
boys,
like.
yeah.
Or be ready to get ratchet.
Well, you would tell me that the spate of present killings and road postcode wars are a result of that it's the adults' fault.
Yeah, partially, yeah.
What I'm saying,
lack of control.
No.
What I'm saying, right? Just like what I watched on the news the other day, or not even the news. I don't know if it made it to the news, but I watched a thing, where two men pull up, they got out of their car and they went to go and check. Must be a young man on his bike, and a next youth was walking. You understand? And I know that the youth pulled out something. The news has reported like he's pulled out a big dagger.
Oh, is that the boy that was on the corner, on the street corner?
Yes.
Yeah, he had a big machete.
Right. Well, that's what they say. I saw something in his hand, and I saw him waving something in his hand, but I cannot categorically say that was a knife. I know what the headline said, and I know obviously he had something, but you never see the big man that was walking across the road. He left his woman who he was walking with, and went down to go and calm down that youth. You understand?
Yeah. Sometimes the sound of reason
was ready to be even say something. He went over and go and check them like, yo, on a move from the place. You understand? And stop aggravating the situation.
Yeah,
understand?
Yeah, but you have to realise. No, hold on. One sec. Don't cut you. What you got to realise is what you're calling adults, because what I term as adults, my age group, those children, what you're talking about, don't come direct from me. You understand what I'm saying? So it can't be my reasoning.
No, but
hold on. It can't be me on my generation that's at fault.
Why?
Because those children are not ours. Those are our
hang on a minute.
our children's children.
No. You know why? Your generation is my mum's generation.
Yes.
Yeah? So I'm the next generation.
That's right. So your children are responsible. Your mum ain't responsible for your children.
No, I'm responsible for breaking that pattern.
Right. But this is the trouble.
If you as parents, if you know what's right and what's wrong, and if you go down the same road and do certain things, there's certain things I've done in my life, and I've had to stop and say, you know what, boy, I'm a bit like doing things like my mum. No, I need to break that cycle. And that's the trouble. No, hang on, I need to break that cycle, and that is what I did. If more parents took more responsibility. Now, hang on. I'm not saying it's all the blame is on parents, but if more parents took responsibility on how they discipline their children, do you understand? On how they talk to their children. It's like a lot of parents will say to their kids, if anybody hits you at school, just knock them out. I don't tell my son that. I say, you know what? Let me tell you something. You see, if your life is in danger, or somebody physically puts their hands on you, then you defend yourself. Because remember, in this day and age, there's so much violence going on, and they're so quick to blame. I know people that have actually defended themselves, and they've ended up getting locked up because they got the better of that other person, and they're kids.
And this is the thing about it, you see, because you're going into another thing there now, right? Because you got people out there that shock the badness, and the minute that somebody defends them or they mess around with the wrong person, them same people is the same people that will be going there, they'll be locking up your whole crew. You understand what I'm saying to you? Yeah? So, unfortunately, certain things are just dominating right about now. You understand what I'm saying to you? The youths them don't know who and where they're supposed to be going, where they're supposed to be. Here we are as big people, right?
It's
for instance,
What do you mean they don't know?
Here we are as big people talking about what with the youths them and the youths them for stop killing one another and and it goes alongside the no snitching campaign. You know what I'm saying to you? People are talking about code on the street. You understand? As if there's a code on the street, my brother. You understand? It's a jungle out there, you understand? And you have to give the young cubs them their space and their time to develop and grow.
Yeah, but I never had that when I was young, brethren. We never had no space and no time to develop, brethren. My parents, look, we follow rule. You understand what I'm saying? Because if we don't follow rule, then as far as our parents were concerned, we wasn't properly adjusted. That's why I said to you, that's why I said to you, what's happening now is it's not my generation of children.
Hang on,
You're going on like you're going on like as if they didn't have DC and Boston and legal gun and all of them kind of things back in the day, my brother.
Like
in your day and back in our day, bro, they still had HMPs, they still had Bostons, they still had DCs, they still had gangs.
Yes, but it's only the
we used to walk past some shops, one in Catford, one on the high road. They used to sell guns in the shop.
Yeah. Do you remember the Catford one? Like
sword and knife. What you talking about?
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen those shops. But I mean, you look at today's youth and the youths in my time.
Yeah.
Right. I can guarantee you that we weren't killing as readily and quickly as they were, brethren. I'm not saying you don't have it.
I'm saying to you,
we had it
right now,
but we never had it.
Now, right now you're in the promotion of death. Our time and these people's time now. You understand? There's a program of death, my brother.
Yeah.
That's right.
I understand. That's been sprinkled onto the people. When we was back in the day, when we was coming up, vampire and Dracula and werewolf and Frankenstein was all things to be frightened of and run away from. Remember?
Jackson thriller.
But
nowadays, the youth them is friendly with vampire, werewolf, Draculas and everything. They're dreams, bro.
Yeah.
You understand? We grew up in a day, Heru, when good was good. Do you remember?
So what changed, brethren?
Changed to bad.
So what changed?
No, but do you remember?
What changed?
Remember when good was good, and there was no such thing as something that was good, bad?
Yeah, you could leave your front door open, go shut.
If my parents, in my man's life, if I ever said to my parents, "Shut your mouth" or "F off, mum,"
listen, bro,
that'd be the last I ever see daylight, brethren. That would be the last. Now, hold on a minute. No, hold on. This is a fact. The youth them now, they're telling their parents to F off. You know what I mean? Something that couldn't happen in my day, brethren.
You know the problem. You know what I think the problem here is.
What are you talking about?
The problem is you're focusing more on your time, how it was on your time.
Yes.
Things have changed multiple. Now hang on. The F off thing, telling your parents to F off, hasn't just come about. It's not just this generation. Yeah, it's through the years. Yeah. But the difference is your generation and my generation were more disciplined by our parents because parents had more time for their children. Right. Nowadays, parents are so worried about making ends meet to pay bills and whatever. Back then you could find a job which would work around your child, so you could be there. Well, if your child's getting in trouble, you're there. You could go to the school or whatever. Now, it's brothers. You see brothers and sisters taking their kids to school. When it comes to appointments and meetings, you're seeing other relatives and friends, or nobody turning up. Do you understand?
All right. Listen, I'm gonna leave it on this point here. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So and so other people can get in. Right. But you going on like our day, it was perfect, bro. You understand? And in our day, a lot of the things that got handed down was BS, bro. Was BS. You come from a time when we come from a time when there was these youth clubs down in Peckhams, in the Brixtons, in the suburbs, in the Lewisham, in the Dexfords, bro, and they got taken over by drug brothers, bro. They became places where they sold weed. They turned out Childer Street, turned out a bag of waste, man.
Yeah.
It's a youth club. Come on, bro. It's a youth club.
Okay.
They use it for youth club. No. You understand? Bigger man them come in there and took over the place, played their dominoes and shot their weed, bro.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying to you? The first time you even know somebody get murdered was a bigger man murdered a youth in one of these places, bro.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So when I look right across, you understand? Yeah? And look at that. A brother get killed last week according to what they're saying, innit? What some people are saying, some man them was juggling outside of the block or whatever it is. You understand? Now, should he have mind his own business? Some people would have said, that's why you can mind your own business.
No, man, I wouldn't put some people on my doorstep.
Yeah, but some people is just going to go and check. But if it's just you one, you know, bro, it's all about gangs. If it's just you one, you know, versus the community coming out, running up people for their block. Are you crazy? if the whole road of the area came out and run people off of their block. You understand? As a force, my brother. You understand? So when it's just a one individual person, listen, man, I see a brother just the other day got bored up same way, bro. He's lucky. He's lucky that they gave him what they consider friendly balls. And what I mean by that, in the 6 ball and bottom and in leg.
Oh no.
You understand? Nothing above his waist. It's like they're trying to do him a favour.
They're giving him a warning.
They could get killed stopping the leg as well.
All because he tried to stop man from juggling on his block. But it's team one.
Wow. You take away their livelihood.
That's what I'm saying to you. So what I'm saying, is that there's youths that want to live, my brother, because it's the same fight, you know. It's about liberty, But right now, we're just in a situation where there's a lot of death being promoted amongst the liberty, bro.
Okay.
There's some confusion and some blurring along the lines.
Okay.
Can I just quickly ask you a question before you go? Do you think it's the blindness, no disrespect, Heru, but do you think it's the blindness of a lot of the older generation that is actually making the youngsters like just go wild? Because if everybody's stereotyping and passing judgment and not giving them a chance, giving them a hearsay and accepting them for who they are, do you think that's kind of part to blame?
Yeah, I do. I think, amongst people, ourselves, how we treat each other. In general, we deal with each other very disrespectfully. You know what I'm saying to you? And we're too quick to be putting hands. You understand? It's like we can't even talk. You understand? We come from a generation, bro. Heru, bro. We come from a generation where it was good to be ignorant, bro. When a man would argue with you and say, "Me ignorant, you know," and feel like it's something to be proud of.
No.
You understand? Fast forward, you know, if a man said, "Me ignorant, you know," everybody would just look at him and say, "What did he do?" Because they understand now, bro. So what I'm saying is that we remember, because I remember, I came up and there was no other word for good but good. And then all of a sudden, it come in like, man, that, wicked, And all of a sudden, that became good. It ain't changed. So what did it happen, bro? And that's filtered in many different ways across energetically, spiritually, whatever it is, physically, the mass of the people.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be getting stuck on words like big man and elder. First time I hear about elder was within the so-called conscious community. That have some grey upon my head now. So some youth them and some young people just, yes, elder. What can I say?
Yeah, I love that.
Or should I run out and go and buy?
No. I don't mind that.
A bottle of dye.
No.
Bottle of dye.
I don't mind that. I accept elder, but big man. Big man.
Listen,
sounds threatening.
Some people, you're dealing with people who sometimes it's about their vocabulary. You understand? And some people just haven't got certain things in their vocabulary yet. You have to give them time.
When? By the time I'll be on bloody pushing up daisies, brethren. By the time they're ready. But I understand. I understand what you're saying, but let's see if anyone else can give their opinion. Thank you for the interjection. Enough respect.
Thank you very much.
Bless up. Yeah, but you see, this is what I'm saying. Generational problem. My generation, whenever I see anything like this, I wouldn't in myself look at a man older than myself and make judgments on him. What the youths are trained to do now is look at their parents and see value. You don't do nothing for me. You don't buy this for me. You know what I mean? Let's take that one. You're live on Genesis.
Hello, I'm calling back to you. I don't hold up the arm too much because other people want to call you. But when the last caller was saying, I remember there was a shop up in Streatham years ago. Yeah, there used to be, it was an army shop there by the
I know the one. It's still there.
Sorry?
Still there, but it's selling different stuff.
Yeah, this is a switch knife and gun inside there.
Yeah, man, I know. Yeah, I know the one.
But nobody, like I said, back in them days, there was like people was controlled. There was more self-control.
Yes,
yeah. And there was also another army shop in Campbell as well.
Yeah, I remember that one.
So people couldn't get access to that if they really wanted it. But the deaf today is much more different. Another thing is, coming back to the big man thing.
Yeah.
You could be right because in my younger generation, sometimes you say pops to older.
That's right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think even
uncle.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So maybe you're kind of right. It's like it's a more upgrade name. Well, not upgrade, but a different version of that. You know what I mean? Another thing is, when it comes to the younger generation, they're influenced by the media, the social media. You got websites like World Star Hip Hop, which shows that bare madness, people uploading bare madness, people. Remember Happy Slaps come out?
Oh yeah.
People do Happy Slaps and record it and put it on YouTube.
Do you know what that
is? I mean? So, and through the mobile phones, it's a different era.
Heru's from a different era because he doesn't even know what a Happy Slap is.
What's that?
Poor thing. But and one last thing before I put on the phone, and when it comes to the session tapes, you remember the session tapes in our generation promoted enough of this bad man, rude boy, bad man. You know what I mean? So in a way, we kind of left that legacy for the younger generation. So when we're comparing, the younger ones are going, we kind of left that legacy for them. We brought that on to them. You know what I mean? So maybe before we go out, we have to kind of rectify it for them. You know what I mean?
Okay. We'll see what
That's
happens.
what I want to say. I hope so other people call back.
Yeah, man. Yeah, the lines are open now. Thank you very much for that. You're in tune to the People's Talk Show. Lines are going mad now, but there's space now, so who wants to get in first, get in. Numbers are 074 04 36 76 18. And I'll repeat, 074 04 36 76 and 18. Bring it into the studios and you can text on
0793 1276 232. That is 0793 1276 232, and that is the text line.
You're live on Genesis.
Hello.
Sexogen TV dismissed it.
To the topic and everything.
Yeah, go on.
Good discussion. Now, when society basically now we're in the technological age. We're in the age where things have gone out of the window, where morals nearly gone out, religion, whether it is culture, whether it is nearly honor, has gone out the window. So we're in the age not like the 80s where, even the music, not like the 70s where you can, for example, your next door neighbor, you can leave out your washing, and even though in the 70s they would have, or the 60s, people would still have a little bit of scared, conscious, and what it is, they would say God. People, for example, when you do something in the 60s, 70s, even the early 80s, they would put an oath in front of you, swear on oath that you would have to comply. You would say to the judge, well, you can't say you can't do that. He will put the Bible in front of you, and you will have to swear on oath, that you didn't. But then again, that man, if he knows that, if they know that you're lying, you're finished. Now, however, what has happened is things have totally turned around. The churches, the things. One man said, to cut a long story short, he's not accepting the Bible no more. And these are the things that has happened, where everything is intertwined with this. Everything, where's your honor, whether it's your thing, and it's obviously, I'm 36 and it's affected a man like me. Everything now, it's a technological age, where now the farmers farming the meat, you see what they're doing now, the chicken, when they're farming, when they close the light off, the egg basically starts in. So farmers are being lazy, people are being lazy, there's more unemployment now than there is. Talking about the gang kind of things. At least a man in the 60s, 70s, he would have conscience. Even when you go outside, for example, when they say, for example, oh brother, oh sis, even the racist, the white racist, they had a thing in this country called hailing. You know what hail means?
No.
Where the Rastas used to hail?
Yeah.
Hail means basically even the white race, like at least when there was a serious time when the poll tax riots have happened, the black, the white thing, they'll come together and they will bash it. But I'm not condoning violence, but it was so bad on all the people. Even the white race will help, but now people don't seem to care about people. I've seen this now. I'm carrying, for example, a big bag load of shopping, and I shouldn't, but I'm carrying it. I'm like breathing, but there's not that kind of help. But I still give grace that I am here. This is what the people don't understand here. And I'll put this another thing, because the People's Talk Show, I give grace that I'm here. You know, I mean, at this moment in time, I mean, let God not turn the country to a worse state, you know, to a bad state. But give grace that I'm here, because I don't see what is happening to other people in other countries. I'm disabled. You lot might be black, but I'm disabled. And that's
what does that mean, Bush?
When I'm saying, no, I mean saying for example,
you lot might be black, but
no, sorry, I'm just saying.
That's okay. That's okay. That's allowed.
So I'm an outsider, but the situation now could get worse because now morals are going out. People are saying, forget religion, forget your parents, forget your honor. They used to say, you're your mom's boy, you know, or you're your father's boy, or you're your thing. They get them outside. There's these people, even at school, there are these people, and I don't know how they're trained, whether MI5 trained them or whatever. They coerce you to get out of these things and go into a life of basically, if they say, take a puff, take this puff, yeah, and then what happens? The boy takes a puff, he takes another puff, he goes to clubs, he gets out of control, and all of a sudden, he starts to become worse and worse. And he's a great studying boy, he's good at school, he gets A's like nothing, but then somebody, now if he's a black man or if he's a Turkish man, somebody from an outsider is going to come in and he's going to say, oh, you're big man, you know, but as in a funny way, you know, this, that, you know, come on, let's be friends. Then it's going to be something else. Then it's going to be something else. And all of a sudden, you come home and you lose your child. And that child is either selling himself for, you know, a piece of pot, and all of a sudden he's gone out of control because he's not become a man anymore. He's become a man to loving a man, and basically he's become lost. That child has become lost. Then you say, oh, you got to go out the door. You know, well, how can you control a person like that? And then when there's no therapists. When I say therapist, look at the English. Therapist. It's not. Look at the English dictionary and look at how they use these words. Therapist. No, it's not therapist. It's someone who sits down, who talks,
but listen, Bertrack,
gets them out of problems. They need a problem get out.
So I don't mean to cut across you. We're going to keep these calls short now. But all I want to say to you, I don't business about this word mixing. What people got, I hear a lot of people doing it all the time. Why would they hide things in words, brethren? You know, whereas the words don't mean this and the words don't mean that. It's a lot of rubbish, brethren.
I'm gonna say this though, and before I think 2 points on top. Before the things, now look at what the music is telling. I mean, look at the things that they're playing. Even Sleepwell, even the music. I swear to you, that there was that track. Yeah. Even the effects affect me. Even the things that they're saying is affected me every time. Like basically, they trying doing different things to get these people. Like look at it now. Look at the society that has gone out of control, and it is going to get harder and harder and harder and worse. And I'm not a doomsday scenarist, but I'm telling you, if people in your community does not find a togetherness, you're going to see one day a world without this platform, without this thing, and you're going to see many other platforms now going boom, 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 rubbing out their crutches. excuse me. I mean, I'm just saying, rubbing, like dancing with their legs, boom, 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 every single day. Now, there's not even one session where they play slow jams or nothing like that. They just go crazy, even at night. That is why I'm telling you, if you don't want a noise like that, where it's violence, where there is sick, where a country is gone out of control, then you lot have got to get together.
Yeah, you keep saying that. Yeah. Okay, Bird Track, I want to thank you very much for your interjection. Feel free to call back when you feel like. Yeah. Okay. Right. You're in tune to Genesis Radio and the People's Talk Show, and the numbers are 074 04 36 76 18. And I repeat, 074 04 36 76 18. Live calls only. And
the text number is 07931 276 232. That's 07931 276 232, and that's the text only line.
Right. And so
609, feel free to call back.
609, and you've been trying to get through, can call through. Saxogen TV was trying to get through.
Let me quickly tell you what a happy slap is. What a happy slap was, where the youth they'd video something, and like somebody would run up to you and slap you.
Really?
Going, blow. We're not talking about a little slap, proper
slap.
Yeah, that was a happy. I just thought I'd let you know, because
I didn't.
Obviously, your generation isn't quite aware of those things, you know.
Well, this is what I'm talking about. It's my generation is much more. What I call stable generation, upbringing. Really? Of course, brethren.
Why do you assume that? Because you come from that generation?
No, because what it was, even though we had this, what you would call postcodes back in the day, but not on the scale that it is today.
What are you talking about? Oh my gosh!
Listen, my era. You was near to a grasshopper when I was raving.
I'm not that far.
Yes, you was. Listen, when we was going to I was in Brixton and we go to Peckham.
Yeah.
Only little. If a man in a dance, not here from Peckham or from Brixton, right? He's just gonna section TV D.Rowe. Okay, you're live on Genesis. Caller, you live? Oh, sorry. Go on. Go on. Yeah, I can hear you now.
This generation is a complete different generation from yesterday. Yesterday's generation, they will take anything and accept anything. Yep. You see, this generation, they don't even know what they're accepting. They just accept anything that comes their way. And the reason for this is because of the elders that didn't set no example.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? If you want to go somewhere, you're going to type it into your sat nav, or you're going to get a map and find the way. Now, think about it. What map was left for the youths of today to follow? Because I know what the map was left for me. It was shubbins every night and nightclubs every night, and in the youth centres where it was dominoes and, as the man said before, weed selling and abuse of the youth by the elders. So I understand when Heru's talking. Heru grew up in a different way to now. He's so far away from now, it's unreal. But the reason for that is not a bad thing. It's because he's stuck in his era, and he's stuck around his age group. And most of his age group is what's the best word to call it? The conscious. Conscious.
No. Listen, I'm a grandfather, even probably possibly a great grandfather. You see,
we're all grandfathers. You know, like if you're a great grandfather or a grandfather.
Yeah, but I mean,
what we got to understand is, if you got great grandchildren or you got grandchildren, I think the best thing for everybody to do is to listen to their grandchildren.
Yeah.
That will keep them in time of the now.
Yeah, it's true.
Listen to the grandchildren.
You know, remember, we know gay as homosexuals, but the real meaning is happy, and the youth them use it as happy now.
Yeah.
Regardless of where they might end up, but a lot of these youths call gay happy. So, you know, like, alright, look, like what Breeze was saying earlier on, this thing, wicked. I was saying this, I think I was talking to Muslim on Friday or Thursday, I was saying to him, look at what's going on. Everything's wicked, nothing's good no more. That shirt looks wicked. Oh, this tastes wicked. So what tastes good and what looks good?
Yeah, but it's true. They lost that word.
So wickedness is so easy because everything's wicked. So no one can't separate good from wicked because you know that dress she's got on is wicked. You know what I mean? So when you're saying to her you're too wicked, his vocabulary is wicked.
So he's wicked. Yeah, vocabulary is definite to do with the vocabulary because it covers that. But the mindset. Why don't
like
the youth supposed to take on?
Let me show you a different thing about vocabulary. Yeah, you see, like the elders, then they would say to you, "Don't swear." But when you ask them, "What is a swear word?" they can't tell you. And if you use a word and they say it's a swear word, you ask them, "How is it a swear word?" They can't tell you. You see the danger in the older generation because they don't move on with time.
Yeah, but the older generation
the destruction is out there now because the elders, and I can put myself in that bracket.
Oh, that's what I'm going to say.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah, because not me, the elder. You're the elder. I'm the elder brethren.
Listen, take it on your shoulders as well. Because
why?
We are all elders.
No.
We are. Because we're not getting any younger.
We didn't set up nothing for the youths to come and follow. We did not leave a map for the youths to follow. Well, I don't understand what anybody else is saying, but just remember. Life has a map.
Yeah.
A blueprint.
True.
Black print.
If we don't have a blueprint, what do we follow? Stand up on the roadside and smoke weed and drink fucking...
So what, is it too late?
No, remember this, yeah? 15, 18 years ago, when you see somebody drinking, you call them a rumhead. Now, man's waking up to go and buy a bottle of rum.
Yeah, serious.
Because again, the destruction of the distraction comes from music and music videos, and now we've got YouTube. Everything's accessible.
Yeah, man.
But then a man will make a tune. I'm drinking rum and Red Bull. But think about what he's telling you. Red Bull is all kinds of crap in there, guys. It's even got rat poison in there.
Bull sperm. Yeah, it's got bull sperm as well, I understand.
So, some of the ingredients in Red Bull. And then the rum now, what is being made, and if you look on the bottle, it tells you the whole breakup. And then you're going to get Red Bull with artificial sugar. Mix it with the rum. So what you made there, you've made poison. You're putting it in your body. But now everybody wants to drink rum. Then you see everyone getting big and fat. The rum is mashing up their kidneys and liver. But there was no one here to tell us this before. So that we didn't drink the rum. We didn't drink the whiskey, the brandy. You know, brandy's a medicine. If you drink and if you take too much medicine, you're abusing it.
Yeah.
And today, everyone's drinking brandy and Coke, not realizing before they put it in their body, it's poison.
Yeah, poison.
They've also got poison in their body. So when they start seeing their body popping up, swelling out, it's crazy. Like, I'm out there, Heru. I'm out there. You know this. I'm selling herbal remedies to people. I even deal with people with cancer. And you see when I'm dealing with them, they're the hardest people in the world to deal with. And some of the time I can understand why it's hard, because, you know, some of these sicknesses what are reaching us right now are special deliveries. You know what I mean?
Seen.
So
let me ask you. Let me ask you.
Ask me.
Is it too late to change anything? You think?
No, it's never too late, because there's a new generation of people coming up. It might be too late for you and maybe me. But it's not too late for us to put something in place so that the youths then can come and look at that, and even if it's only 40 man out of each community can be inspired by what you've done, then this is what you should be doing.
That's right.
Like, a lot of us, we do things, we get a little name, and we forget the people. We forget it's the people that put us there. It's not us that put ourselves there.
For real.
Genesis is the first black talk radio in the world.
That's right.
But a lot of people don't realise that.
Yeah, that's right. I used to
A lot
enjoy
of people don't realise that, because in America you don't have talk shows like how Genesis is.
Yeah.
Especially how we was going on in the 90s, that couldn't happen in America. And definitely couldn't happen in Jamaica or Africa. You've got to go by a guideline. Certain words you can't use. So we broke all of that. Now everyone's got a talk show, but no one's got a direction.
Oh yeah, because if you look at the history of pirates, you'll see Genesis mentioned there. It's one of the first talk shows in the history of pirate stations, and you'll see that it's not rubber. Did you know
the only place in the world that has pirate radio station is England?
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously I'm going to Jamaica to set up a station, and it's basically a pirate because I'm not getting a license. I don't need a license. Because I know the laws, innit? If you know the laws.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's why you're a pirate, innit? Because you don't want to be a licensed station, brethren.
I've got my transmitter and everything sitting down, waiting to go to Jamaica. Okay, if it's not on by the end of December, it'll be on for the 6th of January. Now, what we need to do, Heru, is start putting things in place. This talking thing is not going to work no more. The youths are not listening to that. Let me tell you the truth, I never listened to it neither, because a lot of people doubted what I wanted to do in my life, and I made sure I'd done what I said I was going to do. And I'm about to do some more things, and I'm going to make sure I do what I set out to do. So I don't like listening to weak people. I don't like hearing people saying the youths, them is this and the youths. No, the youths, them are misguided by the elders. This is what we want to hear from now on. When we're talking about the youths, can we say the youths are misguided by the elders? No matter how wrong they're going on, can we say the elders misguided them?
Yeah.
You see, even YouTube is one of the biggest destruction that's coming to the world. Yeah, and watching YouTube can lead you anywhere. So much people messing around with things what they learn off of YouTube.
Yeah, but at the same time, we don't want to give the youth some excuse to think that their behaviour is, they can hide behind that and say, oh, I'm going to kill somebody because of the elders. I'm going to do that.
No, listen. Some of the behaviours, what comes from some of these youths, their family, gives them this behaviour. Their family, the things what their parents sits down and talks about in front of them.
But but there have to be some responsibility.
Let's stop going around it, because you know, Heru.
Yeah, I know.
I know the era, because you're older than me, so I know the era where you come in. Your front room in your house was locked, and when your mums and dad's friends come around, or uncles and aunts, they went in the front room, and you weren't allowed in there.
That's right.
Right, but today, the front room, everyone goes in there.
And the sprawl.
Everyone sits down in the front room. Big people are talking or little people are talking, everyone's sitting in the conversation. There's also pornographic stuff that you can watch on YouTube.
Yeah.
There's so many things that can happen on YouTube.
A lot of murder. Yeah, you can see a lot of murders going on, real life murders, brethren.
Yeah. So, remember, it all has to come from somewhere, which is the elders. And the biggest problem in our community today was started from the fucking 80s. Yeah? And it started from Lone Ranger. Fist to fist is done. Nowadays, man up over life and a ratchet and his gun. So from 1981 to about 1986, everyone had a knife. From 86, the gun started coming. 88, people started to get killed. And it hasn't stopped, and it's speeded up. It's speeded up through the music, through these reckless music and these fucking pirate radio stations. That's what destroyed the youths of today. The pirate radio, because remember this, these pirate radios, all of the brothers that owned the pirate radio stations, they were all pricks before they had a radio station. There was never nobody. There was never nobody of substance. The reason why I done it is because I thought, and Cool Breeze was one of them as well, that encouraged it. So every day of the week you say, let's put a station on, let's go hard on them. So that's what we done. We put a station on and go hard. Every other station's come on, it's about the owner of the station being the top DJ on it, or what's a mustard on everything. You know, now his phone's ringing and he gets a couple of adverts, he's the man in the era. these guys who are getting classed as the man in the area should be spoken to by the public, because you are discharging your information, so whether it's music or it's information.
Yeah.
People must be able to come up to you and ask you, what are you doing for your community?
True.
Because I don't mind if somebody asks me what I'm doing for my community, because I've got a blueprint to show them. A lot of people will not be able to say that.
Okay.
Yeah, so remember, this is one of the biggest problems around us. The elders don't want to listen to the young ones. And when I was growing up, I always heard that you can always learn from a young one. So how is it the elders don't want to learn from the young ones now? Everything the youths. No, let's say, well, we're going to talk about the youths. Please, let's just talk it like this from now on. Yeah, the youths that was misguided or disguided, or whichever disguise you want to use, by the elders. Because the youths couldn't find guns if the elders weren't around to pass it. Yeah?
Okay.
There's a lot of things we can go through. And yes, back in the days, we could have said the white man this, the white man that. No, it's not the white man no more. It's the black man and the Indians.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For real.
And it ain't little youths was bringing fucking 100 keys or 1,000 keys of coke in this country. It's big men. And it's leaking down to the youths. So remember, when you're talking about the youths, they're misguided by the elders.
Definitely.
That's how it must be quoted from now on. You're talking about the youths misguided by the elders.
All right.
That's the realest way we can do it.
Okay.
Start marking our words and using our words in the right content. Because this is what we don't do. And this is why a lot of the destruction is going on, because everybody thinks they know the truth. No one knows the truth. All you should know is that you misguided the youths.
Well,
you're old enough, you said you've got grandchildren.
Yeah. I think
like
society also misguides the youth rather than
No,
adults.
we are part of the society. People keep talking about society. Who are you talking about? Because when you go into the housing now, it isn't just white people in there no more. It's Indians and Africans and everybody else.
Yeah.
Well, if you're going to pay, if right now you've got a parking ticket, you're going to talk to an Indian or an African.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You go into the council, talk about your flat, it's going to be an Indian or an African.
That's right.
So where are we going?
It's not about white man anymore, brethren.
Everybody keeps jumping up and saying the white man is the white. Fuck the white man. The white man can't control what you got in your pocket, but he can't control what's in my pocket. I don't know about anybody else. Let me just talk for myself. No man can't tell me how to spend my money. Yeah. So what are you talking about the white man? Why don't you set up a business where you don't need the white man then?
That's right.
Stupid. Right. Too many elders as well, get into positions and don't realise when they're in a position what their position is for. See me, I got into a position when I was young, but I'm old enough now to realise a position. Lucky enough, I kept myself relevant right the way through. Now I know who I am. I know why I've come here, because remember, in this world, there's two reasons. Either you've come to be a number or you've come to make a difference. I forgot about the number because I knew it to make a difference. Yeah. And if nobody don't believe me, then look at the difference what Genesis has made around the world. Every station, every radio, everywhere in the world now, you have to have a black talk show. Everywhere in the world. I do my research, so I know.
Okay.
So we need to get out and start leading by examples. And remember, stop talking against the youths then.
No,
we're not. Disguided and misguided by the elders.
Okay.
Yeah, please come out.
Yeah, man, respect for that. Yeah. Yes, all right. Yeah, there you are. People's Talk Show. That was Mr. D.Rowe there. I mean, we're not talking against the elders, you know, brethren. What we're doing here, we're looking at reasons and solutions to the problem. If we can come up with a problem at the same time, we don't want the youths them to use an excuse and to escape by saying, well, it's the adults' fault, so I'm going to go ahead. They've got to take up some kind. They have to learn to have responsibility as well. That's the main thing. They have to be responsible for their actions.
Oh, definitely.
So the more we can drive that home to them, they won't go on selling crack to someone else to smash up the family. Come on, you've got text.
Okay, we've got text messages from 609, Mr. Bryce. He says here, when the younger generation call you big man, why do you not reply with yes, little man?
I don't want to wind them up, do I? I mean, if they're out for problems, then I'm only going to wind them up.
You're assuming they're out for problems.
Yeah, well.
He said, remember, example, one time we used to hustle to buy a car for £500 or £1,000. He said, no youth ain't buying no £500 car now. You don't even get them again. Our youths are being taught to aim for more and yearn for more, but are shown to make more in a more negative way. Unfortunately, as parents, I feel we are the Bible to our youths. But when was the last time you personally opened the Bible to sit down and learn from it? We don't do it, yet alone see it every day, is what I mean. I don't mean it's the answer, but society, material, lack of text education and communication, blame and not enough understanding, etc., all play a big part. Certain idols need to be made an example of instead of being idolized for doing the wrong thing and the wrong reason. Could go on and on, but you get the gist.
Okay.
Pick up yourselves, Mr. Bryce.
Thank you, Mr. Bryce. You can call in. The lines are free if you prefer to call in now. 609. I know we've been trying to get through for the longest time, but we've taken them. But see, the thing about it is here, we are all in a society. That's the first thing we've got to remember. And it's a classism instead of racism. It's not so much racism again, brethren.
What do you mean by
classism? This class is above the working class, the middle class, and the lower class.
Yeah, but who sees that? Because the younger generation don't see class.
They do, because number one, if they go to certain areas, like this is Brixton, for instance, and they're sort of gentrifying Brixton, kicking people out, and the youths then find they can't go down certain places again because you know what I mean, it's cordoned off, or so they realise that in the world there is classism. And if I what I'd say, if I can get that over to a youth more than racism, because racism, even though there might be semblance of racism still in Britain, that's not the cause. Classism, everything is done for the upper class, the working class. Like we talk about universal credit, the amount of people that are on universal credit are usually the poor class.
Yeah, but it's working people mainly that are on universal credit.
Yeah, and the ones who are not working.
Yeah, but what they were saying,
class
people
members,
that are suffering the most,
right, and the rich,
people who are working,
and they find that there's a big divide between the rich and the poor. So the rich is getting richer, and the poor is getting poorer. So when you see a minority of people with so much wealth, brethren, what do you think it does to their consciousness?
You know what the thing is? There's a saying: the rich will always be rich.
Well, why?
They're saving their money. The poor will always be poor because they're always trying to look rich.
Well, I don't know about that. Yeah, but I don't know about them saving their money because they're buying big yachts and everything. So when the youth men them see certain people that are only privileged, and their parents can't get that because they have to work 9 to 5. And some of the things I see as well, like for people who come over from different countries, they buy big houses in the country, but they're never around long enough to enjoy it. You know, they work so hard and send the money back home. You're live on Genesis.
So amazing.
Yes,
that addition to what you're saying with the racism and classism.
Yeah.
That racism is still about. Like even classism is racism in itself. Because like the whole classism hierarchy part of it. Like you had the working class, the higher class, and the elite class, and then like the bums and whatnot. However you want to put it. But you see, when it came to black people were lower than the white working class. Even when they had the working class, and then they brought over the indentured slaves from Ireland, and they was doing their working class thing, and they was even lower than the working class. Yeah, the black slaves were still lower than the black people that weren't even slaves were still lower than the indentured servants. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, but when was that though? When was that? Because I found that in Europe we used to be noble. We ruled Europe, brethren. So I don't know when did we.
No, that was artistic. There were certain times in Europe when we had our noble men.
Yeah, we ruled.
It wasn't all the way through. Even when there was a noble man, I was a black man, they still had their slaves and whatnot. It wasn't like the whole city was full of black and was thriving. You had the 1 and 2 that played well to the system's game, and they got let in, and they done well in society. You know what I'm saying? Society in that time. Just like with today, if a black man is doing well and he's willing to play the game, he's going to be higher up in the society.
Oh, but see what I mean? But but you just said that it's not racism that's holding us down, even though there might be. No.
What I'm saying, there is a degree of, even with classism, there's a degree of racism. And it's not like racism is still something that holds one back. You know what I'm saying? Because you're still going to have to jump through a lot more hoops as a black man, to try and get a foot in the door if you're a white man trying to do something. You know what I'm saying? And it's not a case of, it's because of your class. It might even be a case of your skills. You know what I'm saying? It could just be a case of you're black. Where they immediately had this thought of what you're going to be like instead of seeing what you are actually like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it still plays a part of it. It's maybe not be as big as hindrance as it was or it used to be, like back in the day.
That's
right. You know what I'm saying? But it's still about, and it's still a little hindrance. But classism is also a factor as well, that even within classism, I just wanted to point out that there was a degree of racism in the whole classism structure. But even then, the classism structure is still kind of run in a racism kind of a way.
But what I can't understand is this. I mean, in like for instance, in the Conservative Party, which is ultra right, well not ultra right, but it's right wing. You got a lot of black people in there, and you got even the one looking to become mayor. So if there's no possibility of any success because you're black, I fail to see that, brethren.
I think it's harder to be successful if you're black.
I don't really say that there's no possibility of success to be black if you're black. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying that there's a degree of hindrance that is more predominant if you're gonna come across. There'll be more speed bumps put in the road, when you are black. Unless you've got a lot of friends and you play the game well, and you know what I'm saying, you've done your training and whatnot, then you know what I'm saying, things will be made easier. But just off the bat, as an independent brother, like, there's many speed bumps, and you know this, you know what I'm saying. So, you know.
So, as according to the youths now, how do you think they see it? I mean, you've got a lot of white youths, a lot of Indian youths, Chinese youths coming together in gangs and defending territories and defending their economic structure, which is drugs, brethren. I mean, if they were working or building businesses, I can understand, but you know, their prospects is through drugs.
Not all gangs.
What?
Not all gangs. Not all gangs. No, you can't. That's
gang
just stereotyping.
I mean,
that's
come
just stereotyping. All gangs, they peddle drugs and whatever.
What do you think they do then? Sell candy floss?
You're very funny.
No, but I mean,
if we're going to talk on a certain demographic or area of non-legal activities, you know what I'm saying, and you could probably say that there's a lot of mixture been going on, but there's always been mixtures that's been happening.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like it's been. That's probably one of the main places or only places where colour don't really match into it. It's about heart. You know what I'm saying? And then kind of things there. You know, but even then, even in those kind of structures as well, you tend to kind of, even when you're saying that the Indians are getting involved and the Chinese and one white and whatnot, they still, even though they mix up and they get involved, like their priorities is still their own. You know what I'm saying?
Really? Like,
they're still looking to do things for their own and do stuff for their own and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it's still, that's like, you have triads, you have the little Russian guys, you have the little Romanian little mafia, they all got their little section. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you know what I mean? So it's...
But the thing is, what baffles me as well, you got Chinatown, and you got Indian Town. But you used to have Brixton as representative of West Indian or black.
I think so.
Yeah, well, I don't know, Lewisham maybe or Peckham, but I think it was Brixton really.
Not really.
I don't know,
but Brixton, New Cross, Peckham, they were kind of stereotypes as being.
You go on,
I don't think you have them kind of towns there is because as much as people would like to say he's a myth, that Rooney Lynch syndrome is still deep within us. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen it on a little stretch. like I've seen the competition in people rise up in people, and they're in Waterloo. Yeah, and it's predominantly like white or like European food, little markets and whatnot. And maybe like a few Caribbean shops and little huts and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And like maybe party and things like that. But you can just sense the resentment and just 1-2 undertones and 1-2 little comments, and you just think to yourself, well, like it's a shame that people have to kind of think like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, should be just trying to get even more people over here and look down the area. You know what I'm saying? That's probably why, like, if everyone was on a strip now, you know what I'm saying, there's like 20 Caribbean shops. Like the Caribbean, the competition and like the hard competition and maybe the arguments and whatnot. Like it could be a little bit mad. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't know. Like that's just me just thinking, like, just know, because don't forget, no electricity, that business do get on and they do work together. You know what I'm saying? But when everyone's in the same niche and they're going after the same customers, it's gonna put pressure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we are passionate people, and it might get a bit on top. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But what I will say though, there's no prospects. I don't see any prospects for the youths really. I mean, that's where I really feel sorry for them, because
no, there's no prospects for the youth.
You reckon?
We need more advertising. That we don't get the advertising that the white companies get. You know what I'm saying? And the white people and whatnot, and the funding and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? We got our fringe groups, yeah, that are trying to do stuff for like welfare youths, and we've got like the little like Glim. Like Glim's been going on fit, you know what I'm saying, and pushing like the football, like after school clubs, you know what I'm saying, and paintings, and every summertime whatnot, we're down Bellingham Park and little events and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So like Glim is growing, you know what I'm saying? The other popping up around like first one predominantly itself, you know, in different boroughs as well and stuff like that. So it's just like with the advertisements, you know what I'm saying, and getting it out there, and then also you need to be parents that are willing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I was saying I was saying the other day, like a lot of parents or adults, they don't really support their kids in their activities and what they want to do. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like as our boxing match, and there's so many kids, black youths. Like white kids have so much support, but there's so many black youths that their parents weren't there. The only people that was there was like their coaches. Like they're leaving and they're leaving by themselves with their two white coach. You know what I'm saying? It's like, where was your moral support? Where was your safety net? You know what I'm saying? So like,
what you're saying is true. What you're saying is true. Very true.
No moral support from the...
Yeah, the lack of.
Yeah, there's lack of moral support. Like, there's so many kids that we were supporting. Like, so many boxers came out to me like, wow, thank you. We helped so many men win fights. Because the moral support, they're getting crushed. And then when we started, it's like, well, ask his trainer, what's his name? Like, give us his name. Big man up. You want to see the whole man come back, knocks man out, even in the family behind us was mad. It was upset. You know what I mean?
So,
and Miranda is a big difference. It don't matter who it's coming from, but that's sure that it's even more powerful and important when it's coming from the parents and the loved ones, isn't it?
So we should do more empowerment seminars then.
No, I think parents more needs.
Well, the parents should organise that, as D.Rowe said.
You don't need empowerment seminars. You don't need a seminar to empower your youth, support your youth.
I know.
Doing the activities where they got a boxing match, be there. They got a football match, be there. They got a ballerina or learning something like be there when they're doing their public showcase. You know.
Yeah, but I say that. The reason why I say that because the parents, the children who don't have parents as such, or have one parent who are too busy.
Yeah, but
it's good to arrange stuff like that to have empowerment talks, brethren.
Yeah, but empowerment talks.
And the parents can come along there with as well, and they can.
I don't know, you know.
You know what I mean?
Talking about empowerment, that's the way to come. The parents, they're gonna take 5 hours out their day or 2 hours out their days to say they're gonna sit down at a meeting to talk about empowerment, and they could have spent an hour, spending with their youth, at their event. And that would empower them so much more than any speech could ever give them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Do you know what?
That's usually I can speak so much louder than words.
Yeah, with my son, he does a lot of clubs and jobs at school and whatever. And when the rain's pouring and we jump in the car to go to the football match, I'm moaning, I'm cussing and whatever. And I say to him, you know what? You know, this is, when you join things, just remember, we're in it together. Your club is my club. Because everywhere you go, I'm going to take it. I sat there in the rain with my face long, but you know what? No, but I didn't mind, because you know what? He loved it. He enjoyed it.
It's
Do you understand? It helped him grow, helped him develop. And even now, he's still taking on jobs. And I keep saying to him, you know what? You keep taking on these jobs and coming. And because he knows I'm not going to tell him no. Because he needs to find who he is, and he needs to know what he wants. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what the gentleman is saying, I agree with it strongly. If the youth had more support, more backup from their parents, even if they say, you know what, babes, you know what, I've got to work, but I'm going to finish, but I will be there before the end. You see, seeing that parent or that close friend or family member come through that door, it's uplifting.
Yeah, I won't be there, but I'm going to get blah, blah, blah to come, you know? Or something.
Oh, well.
Like everyone sees it in the movies and they be like, but they don't do it.
It's true, you know, it's true.
Oh dear.
It's true.
Well, that could be one of the reasons why. I don't know, but do you think that's the reason why there's so much delinquency about today? In terms of...
No, there's no one reason. There's so many factors. There's so much things that our community's been through. You can't put it down to one factor. We just have to tackle it bit by bit. And when we see solutions for certain problems, we just tackle it one by one and apply the solution. Once that solution's been applied and you see some results, then you know, so, right, we can step onto another thing now.
Yeah.
But really, there's a process of healing. There's no quick fix.
Yeah, but why do you think?
Never been a quick fix.
But why do you think the youths go and sell drugs on the corner?
Why did the older men go
Because
and sell drugs on the corner?
you don't see music videos promoting, I'm gonna go and get a bar. And when I'm talking about bar, I'm talking about the legal bar. You can be like be a lawyer or something like that. We're talking about bricks, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that, and dotting. But that's what sells. That's to get your contract, to get your upfront money. You gotta sell your records. Make sure you gotta sell your records. This is what you're gonna have to talk about, because you know this is what sells. And who buys music? This is the most messed up thing, because black people, we don't buy music. I know that I've downloaded so many stuff.
Download.
Everyone we download. So who is buying this music, please?
Yeah.
That's white people that's buying the music.
I find that very sad.
That's why they call the music in the trap. You're not even making music for your own people. You're influencing your own people, but you're making it for enough white people to sit down there and bumping on jail, and then you're going to start complaining when they start talking about nigger. You know what I'm saying? And then they're bumping it in so many tracks. You know what I'm saying?
You see, with the music industry, the pirate stations don't actually help it because they don't pay royalties.
No stations help it. You can't even just say the pirate stations.
No, but I mean, but if you're a member of MCPS...
Any kind of media does not help it. Mainstream media does not help it, full stop. Everything being promoted is either death or Jezebel spirit.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, but if you're a member of MCPS... But if you're a member of PRS, and a member of MCPS, which are bodies that collect the royalties for you when it's played on a legal station, you automatically get a check for it. Some people will get checks dropping through a door for around 50,000, 10,000. You know what I mean? Because that.
I'm a member of PRS. I've been a member of PRS. You know what I'm saying? I've done a couple of instrumentals from back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like even last month, I got like a 50p. I was like, wait, what? Oh, yeah, you know what I mean? Really? You know what I mean? Okay. You know what I mean? But that's just what it is. There's your name, register your name, you know what I'm saying? That's the covering you back for your money when you're getting paid.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? That's that's like music law and a whole different thing, you know what I'm saying? But the whole point of that doesn't matter what you're talking about. I've never sports, like any of my bars, like one day, you might even start hearing my bars stealing silver subjects in the limelight. But yeah, any of my bars on that, like, there's no negativity in the sense. You know what I'm saying? I know it's not my bars that I got paid off. Yeah. It had to be one instrumental that I done like from way back in the day. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So like, it don't matter like what your content is, it's how much money you want to get. You know what I'm saying? That's what the trap is. It's like, do you want to get that P?
That's
right.
You
want to get that P, you got to do what we want you to do.
Well, listen, there's a lot of music in the gang circle. Good rappers, good we call it bar spitters, but their lyrics and their genre ain't going mainstream, brethren, because they talk about some of the things which we try to clap down the gang videos now. They're trying to say they're going to start cutting out.
There are a few. But
they do go mainstream though. Look at this man head of gutter and end up kind of mainstream.
Yeah, but once you clean up yourself, you clean yourself up. You can't go down mainstream talking about gun. I'm going to blast this man, I'm gonna bust 2 cap in his man head, or I'm gonna, you know what I mean?
What you can say,
F him up
but
or
it's how
something.
you say it, it's how you put it.
But why would I do that about violence, Bridget?
No, but sometimes it's about reality. Some people, you see, some people have lived a certain kind of life and that's all they know. Remember, music, when it comes to music, it usually comes about from life experience, what your feelings, what you've seen, what you've been through.
But it shouldn't.
And sometimes it's just a way of expression. And I think, I don't think what they're saying is wrong. I think it's the way it's being put across, because they're talking about what they're going through, what they've seen, what they've done.
But they shouldn't put it into music, man.
You can,
You
but
shouldn't,
you should
though.
know
You
how
shouldn't.
to. I mean, why not? Everybody was okay for Tupac to do it.
Yeah, but that's fine. Tupac and Biggie was wrong. I mean, to me,
Why?
that wasn't very good, because this is what most of the gangs now are based off of Tupac and Biggie. They're thing, you know what I mean? Yeah, and remember, he got rich pretty quick. He was rich when he was 20. By the time he was 19 or something.
Well, Blood and Crips was way before Biggie and Pac. You know what I'm saying? Like, they was about way before Biggie and Pac. They tried to use, the media tried to use Biggie and Pac for to incite the beef. And Biggie and Pac even talk about that. I'm saying that this one is not even that deep. Like, when you're beefing, like, it's not even that deep more time. You know what I'm saying? And they made that, put that across very clear. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't really listen to the music, then you won't really know that. You know? Go along with what the mainstream will tell you. But, yeah, it's like, I can't say that it didn't, like, infuse and it didn't help, because obviously they're both different sides, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah.
Yeah, but did you really, but do you think
they can turn that way?
Yeah, but
they've been beefing way before Biggie and Pac, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And right about now, I don't even know if they're really beefing like that anymore, too tough. Like, there's been a lot of choices across the board, from what I've been hearing.
Is it?
You know what I'm saying? That's like a few months ago and last year and whatnot. A lot of unity has been going on. You know what I'm saying? And it looks like they're taking on the original meaning of their name. You know what I'm saying? It's Crips, like community resistance in progress. You know what I'm saying? And Bloods, meaning that we're Bloods, we're all brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it seems like they're going back to their roots and why they was even started in the first place. You know what I mean? So, slowly but surely, that's what I'm saying. Like, everything's bit by bit. Like, we're a lot better than where we was in a community sense. Maybe not in the social sense, in the way that things is going on and the way the media tries to portray us and the little games that they play to get us all mad and rage up and there's some off adverts and things like that. But in a community sense, I think we are in a better place than where we were. That's why there's been a lot more attacks on our youths, you know what I'm saying? I think there is a bit of a correlation between what's been happening and these new towers that have been popping up on end. You know what I'm saying? The little 5G RF towers. I do think there's some sort of correlation between that as well, because we do know we are affected by frequencies.
Okay.
So stay tuned, because I'm doing a little line of Shungai pendant. You know what I mean? So it's all coming through. But look in. But yeah, I would definitely suggest everyone get a little piece of Shungai. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's cheap. These little towers are just, of course, I was driving down and I was like, wait a minute, what? Since when you see from last year, you hear the videos about in America and the 5Gs and things like that. And so I've done my research about the frequencies and how they can affect us, to the point where they even got like sound wave weapons in the army, like LRADs, like long range audio devices. You know what I'm saying? That would just shut a man's body down real quick. You know what I mean? So like, there's obviously certain frequencies make dogs go mad. There's one few years ago that one park was always getting mad attacks in this park all of a sudden in the summer, and then it just stopped. You know what I'm saying? I think that was a test as well myself, to be honest. But sometimes I can be a little conspiracy theorist, you know what I mean? But so many theories that come out to be true in the end, like I just call myself a little theorist. You know what I'm saying? It's conspiracy no more. You know what I mean? It's peak. But, yeah, technology has jumped. We're much more ahead in technology than people think we are.
Yeah, man, true.
The audio devices and things like that and frequencies.
Well, I'm just a dinosaur, I think, really. Yeah. It is Lids, yeah?
Huh?
Are your name Lids?
Pardon?
Is your name, is it Lids?
No,
Okay.
really.
Lids, no, you sound like Lids. You sound like a guy that used to call up back in the day. But anyway, listen.
No, it's Weezy. It's still Weezy, man. 709, Wednesday. Easy Black.
Okay, all right. Well, listen, thank you for your interjection.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was very interesting, brethren. Yeah, all right. Enough respect. All right, bye. Yeah, so you're in check to Genesis Radio, People's Talk Show. I've got to read a few texts out here before someone else.
Maybe we've got
Quick.
one text out here.
Huh?
One text.
Oh, one text. There, go on.
Call. Text from 8849
We
says
skipped a couple because they weren't very good to read on the read. So.
okay. The weak blacks who love to justify black pathology, i.e. gang violence, the real blacks who want to move on will kill off these people. Nothing will change until that day comes.
Really? Yeah? Kill off these people. Well, I don't know, but where we're going in this 21st century, and as the last caller said, technology is bounding, and then, as I said, I'm a dinosaur when it comes to these things. I mean, I have
You're
to...
old.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean life... You see, life is what to be experienced, brethren.
Of course.
And society, if you don't know what life is, if you don't come before me, if I come before you,
Yeah.
then what I can impart to you is my experience of life, not society,
But I could have
jobs.
experienced more than you. I'm not saying I have.
No,
But no, what I mean is, I could have, as a younger person, I could experience more than you've experienced. No, age doesn't, like, it doesn't qualify to judge knowledge.
So why don't kids run parliament then? You know, go and get them.
You know what? There's some very intelligent.
Yeah, why don't they run parliament? Then why don't we have all youths running parliament?
You know why? You know why I say that?
And all the nursery children.
Some of them,
in fact,
attitudes.
Listen.
Yeah,
I don't agree with that, because I say to myself, I said my youth don't want to be leading adults by the nose, brethren, because they see adults as being supposed to be doing what they're doing. They're supposed to be leading them, not the youth leading the adults, brethren.
That's the point that most of the callers have made.
They don't want that.
That's the point that most of the callers have made. The fault is in the adults.
I don't say the fault's in the adults.
No, I believe it is.
I don't think it is.
It's the attitude, yeah. A few years back, I went for a job, and it kind of, I don't think it classes within colour, but the age thing was a bit thing, yeah. I think it was a classism thing, but he misjudged me. I went for a job with Go Ahead. We're going back about 7 years, and I passed the written test and everything. And afterwards they take you out on a driving test. So I went on a driving test. So the gentleman says to me, "Can I ask you a question?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Do you go to church?" I said, "Pardon? Do you go to church?" I said, "Why?" He said, "Well, maybe you should go and drive the church bus." And I started laughing. Yeah, now, this is a job interview, so obviously I'm not going to tell this man what's going through my mind. And he said to me, "Can I ask you a question?" I said, "Yeah." He said, how did you get here? Like, did you come on the bus?" I said, "No." "Why am I coming on the bus?" Yeah, but he didn't know what I meant by that. I drive. I've got no need to go on the bus. Yeah. So hear what he said. "Well, maybe you should go on the bus to see how the other half live." I didn't say a word, yeah, because what he's done, he's looked at my appearance and the way I speak and the way I presented myself, and I made an assumption of the kind of person I am. Now the thing is, as adults doing this to adults, what does it say for the youth?
Well, I'm more like humans doing it to humans, brethren. Because at the end of the day, why do we put the tag adults in it? Because you're old.
It's adults.
Because what adults is what they represent as 30, ain't it? 30 is an adult, brethren. Even 18.
18 is not an adult.
But that's what society tells you.
Not an adult.
Hang on. What society tells you when you're 18.
Yeah. Not anymore.
Not anymore. What? So what age has it gone up?
They put the age of alcohol consumption up. Yeah,
but
outside of the home.
Now
hang on, because it does.
If you commit a crime at 18, you're going to a
college
man prison,
until you're 21. When my son was at college, they were sending me text messages.
Doesn't matter.
No, it does matter, because if he was classed as an adult, why would they be
still class legally people? To anyone at 18, you're an adult.
You're not an adult.
This is what society tells you. No. You may not agree, but society tells you if you commit a crime, you're not going to a juvenile prison.
If you was an adult at 18,
if you was 18,
buy cigarettes without ID.
Of course you can. At 18, you can buy cigarettes at 18, brethren.
You have to provide some shops do not serve
Listen,
you cigarettes.
If I'm 18 and I commit a crime, I'm not going to a juvenile prison, brethren.
Yeah,
I'm going to a big man prison, brethren.
Because
at 18,
they go to
18 don't go juvenile
18-year-olds do go to young offenders. Up to 23 years old goes to young offenders.
Yeah, but there's been 18-year-olds in big man prison, brethren.
Yeah, but they also up to 23 goes to young offenders.
But this is what they're telling society: when you're 18, you are an adult.
Okay.
This is what society tells you, whether you agree with it as a parent or not, or I may not agree with it, but this is what they've got in their head, innit? Because society tells them.
Because I know a lot of...
They can get married at 18, they can do all sorts of things at 18, brethren. See? So if you can be married at 16, then, you know, this is...
But that's with consent.
That's what they're telling us.
Do it for you.
Yeah.
You know, it's so dominating and you can't even slide the phone.
Yeah. You're live on Genesis.
Hello?
Oh, one sec, go on. Yeah, go on. Yeah, go on.
What's the sister's name again?
The sister in
Neveyah.
Neveyah. That's an unusual name, isn't it? Neveyah. That's a nice name.
Yeah, it's heaven spelt backwards.
Yeah, man. Huh?
Heaven spelt backwards.
Heaven.
Yeah.
And you know what the prophet said about heaven? Heaven is between the legs of a black woman. This is what they say.
Yeah. Baba Ben said that, you know.
Ben.
Your word for it.
Ben Jokanen said that. It's true.
Ben Jokanen.
You want to die and go to and wait to go to heaven. That's nuts, mate. You know what I mean? There's heaven walking around. I see some beautiful sisters. I'm glad the show's on Heru because I was at the British Museum with Roka Rashidi. He's over here now. He's on a talk. You know what I mean? And there were some beautiful sisters on there, man. So I can say for a fact that's true. You know what I mean?
For real.
Nice sisters. I wanted to go to heaven when I was in there.
Yes. It's true, brethren. I don't know how some people can leave the beautiful of a woman on some big old tough back man and tell me that they're falling in love with a big old tough crafty leg man, brethren.
Yeah, but
they've got to be sick.
Why?
That's what I'm saying. It's like the feminine. Imagine the world without sisters, man.
No way.
Sisters, bro. You might as well kill yourself.
I would.
You might as well kill
I would jump off Tower Bridge, brethren. If they had. No, I'm serious.
You do me, I do you, but I do you first, yeah, and then I might go and I'll have all the women myself.
There won't be any woman there because any society that doesn't have
one, man.
No, I would definitely cop out of a society if there's no women in there.
I'm telling you, man, you can't.
I don't understand.
Anyway,
yeah, go on, carry on what you were saying.
Yeah. The subject. What I wanted to talk about is I just like see some policing. Yeah. The way, you know what? When I figure this out, because I don't think the policing's changed from our era. I mean, you're a bigger brother to me still, but I'm kind of still in that kind of old. Well, not old, but
over 50.
Yeah. Kind of. When I said I'm young, still I'm so young. That kind of. But I don't think the police, because I was down Brixton, and I see this big 6-foot giant. He's like a giant. I reckon he's like 7-foot police. He's a sergeant, He's a sergeant, and he's walking through. I don't know if they was trying to apprehend somebody here, but the man was walking around with his face just looked screwed up like. He looked like he just reminded me like one of them overseer on a horse in a plantation. Just because I'm sure if it was at night, you know, policemen, right? When they're around in nights, but they're shaking little children's hand, picking them, smiling. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking, why we've always been policed and picked on us, because I'm sure that man don't even come from London, you know.
Yeah,
Some of them people don't even live in. They come racist football hooligans, that come from like Shropshire and Lincoln and all them kind of mad places where there's no black people, and then they bring them to police us. And I'm thinking, nothing's actually changed, because I know back in the day, some of those policemen were the same racist man in the pub, bridging. Who you'd fight, and then they just put on a uniform, bridging.
Yeah.
So these youths, another one I saw like this big policeman, questioning up these youths in uniform. Now, I'm sure that's not even legal, bridging. The man actually petrifying a youth in uniform, like questioning them up and things like that, and holding them up. I'm like, do they police people like that? Don't listen. I try. If you go to Kensington and them places, there's no, they won't be doing that to people. To certain places.
But do you think?
What I'm saying is
but do you think it's because of the gun running and the killings and the shootings around certain areas?
No. It's not just our black areas, man. You know what I mean? They don't go on like that in certain. It's just their attitude, the way they go on. It's like they're drafted in these people that just hate black people.
Yeah.
So that means their recruitment selection procedure. They must know. Listen, Heru, me and you could spot. We could spot a racist in a couple questions, probably. You could figure out. You just ask him have they spoken to a black person? No.
Yeah, but I've seen black police just as lethal and ruthless. Like,
yeah, well, that's another thing. Because
you know what I mean? Black police, brethren, they would sooner kick your ass as well.
That's another thing, right? I personally think they pick black people that hate themselves, bro. Because what it is, right? If you hate yourself, right, they're gonna pick you because you're gonna take it out. You're gonna say, listen, I'm not one of them. Let me show you. And it's like, as you said, I've seen them being worse. Double worse. I've even seen where the white man said to chill out to the better.
Yeah, but
calm down, mate.
Yeah, but where do you draw the line? I mean, if you're going to say that they pick the racist police and then they also pick black police that hate them, I mean, where do you draw the line, brethren? What are you trying to say? That they're sitting down and planning? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't really believe that.
No, they look at personalities, and you've got a certain kind of personality, haven't you? And like when you talk, you know what I've found? Yeah, the incidents that I've never caused no trouble. Yeah, but I have had interjected with situations, and I have found the white police are more subtle than the black. The black ones are like raw, like.
They got issues because I can't work out, right. If someone, I mean, because I've looked at this and given them the benefit of doubt, and I'm saying to them, okay, some of them join genuinely, because they think, I want to help society, and maybe they want, I've heard some of them join because they say, oh look, you need to be on the table. I want to change things. Hell no, that's an institution, brethren. Some of them have to drink blood and all them things. You know, the institution will change you, brethren. Well, not to change it. It will change you. It's if you don't arrest and do what I say, you ain't got a job, brethren.
Yeah, but let's look at it this way. If you're going with that mindset, you're going to have difficulty in even accepting anything from anyone. Who knows if that mindset is correct, brethren?
What's the definition of institution? Institution is because its foundation is you come in there and obey our rules, or you don't come out.
Well, every society is like that. If you go to Africa, it's the same thing. They might tell you, "Oh, for behave, brethren," right? And black police chop you up too. And you see them. If you go to Jamaica, black police take gumbo and bust, drag you up in your pants waist, brethren. They love gumbo man in their pants waist. You see, and shoot man.
Jamaica,
you get me?
It's true, but this is what I'm trying to say. If you take, but you see in Jamaica, who's been running the police? They hire British commissioners from over here. To go over there. The head of the police is someone from UK.
So are we so gullible and so like dummies that the people can put their hand up and jump on? That's what I can't stand on black people. Are we that gullible, brethren?
Can you rephrase that?
But this is what I'm saying. But Heru, this is what I'm saying. Because hold on a second, right? This is what I'm saying. Why are you paying council tax for people to actually? Because look at your council tax, yeah. Go and look at it when you get home, yeah. Policing, rubbish, schooling, fire brigade. Why are we paying people? This is what I can't understand. We're paying people to actually. Number one, they're killing us, yeah. Number one, they're not preventing any crime. And so what? Why would you pay? Would you pay a mechanic to come and tear up your engine and rip out your engine and say, I told you on that bridging.
Yeah, but yeah, what?
And all your bits of your cars, and you're madman, you're idiot.
Okay,
but why are you paying them?
But let me tell you, if we were more politically astute, brethren, if we were more together, I don't think. Sometimes I think we over egg the pudding, brethren, because we cannot participate effectively politically, like coming together and have the numbers, because it's numbers that matter in Parliament, brethren.
But hold on a second. Why can't we participate politics then? Because the people who supposedly represent us don't see you as they see you the wider. They don't say I'm representing black people.
No,
they're representing everybody.
That's right, and the numbers are there.
But hold on a second. When the Asian man went into, he's giving contracts to his Asian people for business, brethren. They call him.
That's why. Oh, yeah, and I did what with him? When they caught him, what did they do with him?
I don't know. They probably didn't do nothing, man. They probably gave him a slap on the hand, and I don't know. But what I'm saying is that my point is that when they elect people, those sort of people will represent their people.
Yeah, but
only we.
No, I don't believe it. You know what it is with us? We've been negatively influenced against politics by some of these little fringe groups about the place, and I'm going to go about this little Africa thing. I forgot that. But it's true. It's true. We've been negatively influenced by these people, right? Not to participate in politics when politics is the thing.
Why do you say us?
Yeah, because we don't listen. We don't want to do none. We hate society. We hate police.
I know.
We hate
everything.
We hate every damn thing because people have been negatively influencing us now. We don't like nothing. So we're there sitting down doing nothing, brethren. We're just festering.
A majority.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying now, Heru, certain people. I mean, it's. I don't think we're influenced because the people are not going to be listening. Well, they listen to that, but they still have even though they listen to that, right, they still have their own mindset because if they want to vote, they might have what Labour and like, this is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but why the same group marching? Why are we marching then? If we don't believe in politics, why the hell are we marching, brethren?
What do you mean?
If we don't supposed to have any regard for politics or the white man this and the white man that, why are we going to and we call the white man the devil? So why are we going to the devil's house in Parliament, brethren? With cap in hand, brethren. Why are we going to the devil's house with cap in hand, begging?
Heaven, I call it Nevada heaven.
Yeah, heaven. Yeah, that's nice, man. I can remember that. Heaven.
We started it off.
No, it's true, man.
Definitely.
No, we don't know these things because at the end of the day, we can't be complaining and at the same time using the same apparatus to get reparation, brethren.
No, but what I'm saying is, people of right mind. I know you've got some sheep, but most of you might can listen. You know what I mean? I might listen to you, but it doesn't mean I'm going to go to the Asset Society every weekend.
No, but
you know what I mean?
No, but you can leave
because Heru told me to do. So I've got my own mind.
Yeah.
Yes.
People you might be influencing. You know, check that out and but it don't mean people got to do it. And also, people tell you what. You see, they tell you one thing on the exit polls. Yeah, I voted. This time I voted for the BNP. Right? They say, for Labour. They're not going to tell you. They're not going to tell you everything, Bridget.
No, but at the same time, politics is there for everyone. Regardless of what you said about politics, about people participating in politics, it's the only method apart from anarchy. Then I'm going to start kill everyone and blow everybody to pieces. You see what I'm saying? It can't work.
Back to my point.
Can't work.
It's going back to my point because I think you was doing a group to say, okay, let's have a group that's cross the board like. Different borders, you know what I mean? Let's all link up, like you're saying.
Yes, cross-border group, yes.
So what I'm saying is, so cross-border, but each borough, what they've done is each borough have got their council tax and their charge, what they charge.
That's right. But if we didn't like how police, I don't like how the police sit on people, brethren. I don't like when they're arresting people, they start use them like a chair. Now, this is what I'm saying now. If the boroughs were united, we can get. Remember, we need 2,000 signatures to be even looked at in Parliament. 10,000 to be even debated.
So get going with
the
petition.
Right.
Yeah,
so if the people were properly educated and properly influenced, we could have those numbers in no time.
Of course, but it's down to attitude as well.
You know,
and someone told me it was you know the brother as well because he's a presenter in your station, right?
Okay.
And he's a representative of he's a one party anyway, but he's an MP.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking.
But he said we should actually write to the London mayor because the London mayor is responsible for policing.
That's
right. He does, and you know what I'm saying. So what you're saying is right. We should all, instead of being borough,
Power
and what's
numbers.
going on. We should write to the London mayor.
Yes,
right?
but
as you said, I can't do it by myself.
No.
If I do it, they laugh at me. They should be arrested when I come out.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying to you. We need.
You know what I mean?
I thought what we need educating in, not like this little fringe group tell about go back to Africa and then forget about your community. Is either you're going to be for your community or not. You can't do two things one time, brethren. Either you're concerned about a landmass 10,000 miles away, right? Whose community's rules you're going to have to know and you're going to have to adjust to. You're exchanging one challenge for another. What's the difference between a challenge in Africa and a challenge in here? You think you go to Africa and get no challenge at all? Everything's going to be hunky-dory? You're going to skip toe through the tulips or something?
But what I'm saying is, like, I think I'm just saying what you said, bruv. I'm going to be pushing up daisies, man, because nothing's changing. So something has to change, bruv.
It's the people's minds.
I don't want to be pushing up daisies.
The people's minds got to change. We've got to stop negatively influencing ourselves, listening to these mad people who know nothing, brethren, for the last 40 years having us against the very thing we need to participate in. That's why the other groups are so successful and we're at the bottom of the pile, because we won't do squat diddly. We hate everybody, hate everything, and that's it. And they're not doing it. The leaders who have us like that ain't doing nothing for us. They talk about, what is the government doing for you? But what are you doing for us? After you got us into this corner, right? And what are you doing for us? You just...
Like it's similar. It's a similar thing. When I talk to Brother Ronaldo, you know what I mean? He travels all like, wherever you find, if you find it in Germany, wherever they find a little black people, it's just, we're going through the same thing, bro. So because you got to analyze this, right? This is a legacy of our history, the way you've been treated, and also why it's carrying on. Is because of
it's the legacy of these little big mouth, know nothing personalities that tend to talk a lot of crap, brethren. The weak and impotent sheeple minds.
Do you know what? You'd make a very good representative, Heru.
No, but it's true though. Well, when these little know-nothing personalities, no matter what, me not vote. We can do nothing for me. Me not vote. Shut up.
I don't.
Heaven, calm down. Heaven, rubbing back, man. Rubbing back.
I'm rubbing.
No, but it's true, man. I'm tired of this crap what we hear, and then we complain because we don't like how the police sit on our youths, right? When they're arrested.
It's ridiculous.
It's terrible. And we're supposed to do something about it.
I've looked at it, and I say nothing's changed because they don't do that in other communities. So as you said, you've analysed it. You said because we haven't got any clout to hold them at.
Exactly. To their word.
No clout to.
Right.
Yeah. So no one's gonna. You can't go and talk to their superintendent and say, listen, your officers. Listen, I used to go to. When I used to volunteering, and he's for African charity, children get chucked out, children get excluded from school, right? And we used to have meetings with the police, and I used to say to them, listen, I don't like the way they used to bring me in, and I said, as a younger man then, I said, I don't like the way your officers are dealing with us, Bridget. And I don't know if they did anything, but at least there was like a interaction there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but when
even with the
but sorry, don't cut it. Even if you go to Africa, brethren, which to keep on and about, there are rules there, and there are ways we have to. We can't just go ride hot shot over the government and start to build schools and build that. You know what I mean? Without any recourse to government, they've got governments there, whether we call them neo-colonial or not. So we're going to swap. We're going to swap challenges. Oh, you don't like European challenge, right? You don't like European challenge, right? So what are you going to do? You're going to go get African challenge. Do we know what the challenge is?
What I'm saying is
in Africa is. We don't know.
It's an alternative because we have to have an escape route, bro. You know what I mean? It's like you don't have to. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man. You know what I mean? It's like,
well, why do we escape? Like why don't we just get clued up here, man? Why do we have to escape? We've done great things here as people.
Yeah, but there's two ways. But it seems to. Look, it might, as I said, there's nothing changed, bro. I'm not pushing up daisies and then like. If I live to like 80 or 90, and I said, everyone remember when we used to say Pangenesis?
But listen, you're joining with the people and brethren. If you can't beat them, join them. And if you're in a political... All right then. What's the alternative?
I don't know.
What's the alternative? What's the alternative? Stick out like a sore thumb, marginalised and on the periphery all the time of our lives. Does that make any sense, brethren?
Rob, I'll tell you the example.
That's
you go to
stupid.
the British Museum. You go to the British Museum, yeah. Pure African things in there, right? The thing full up of Chinese people. They're looking at you like you don't belong. And here the client. Simple things like to say, why is the Africa department downstairs in the basement? Right? When Ranoko says, hold on a second, he's been to Egypt about 10 times, and Egypt has always been in Africa, brethren.
Yeah, but what's that got to do with...
So why are they trying to take Egypt out of Africa?
Yeah, but if they can try all they like, but they can't do it, brethren. It's not a big thing. Why do we always get hepped up about these things and get so bunged up, about this, and so scramble hypothalamus over these things, brethren?
No, but what I'm trying to say, it's a psychological warfare, brother. And this is what I'm trying to say. So you have to have, you need to have some sort of alternative, because some of us, the Rasta man, so we're just going to stay here in prison. No, we can't.
No, we can do things here, brethren. We did it when 700 years ago, when we were lords and nobles of this place. We run things here, brethren. How come we're always so yapping our way out of it? No, it's always just,
Yeah, but bro,
negativity.
I can't even get together a partner, mate.
This is what I'm saying, because people are negatively influenced today by these little fringe groups, brethren, that poison our thinking. You know what I mean? We're tired of, we need to shut those fringe groups down. Because they're more problems than more than anything else, brethren.
Well, you know what? I'm still just like, you know what I mean? I don't know, I got my own thoughts. I've always had my, I don't know whether it is, but I'm always in, I'm like, if I was in the, I'd be you see, I'm a sniper. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not saying I'm not, the sniper's independent, but it can still cause damage. You understand?
Okay.
But sometimes it's in the thing, you don't even know he's in the tree for like three months. You don't know he's there.
All right. We want to thank you for your interjection, because coming near to the end of the show and people are trying to call in. So feel free if you want to call back before the show. Yeah.
Yeah. No. I like to listen to some of the other brothers and there's some good contributions there. You know.
Enough respect. All right. Go. Thanks. And sorry, we got another call. 607. You're live. 070. You're live.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah, I've been listening to the conversation and various conversations. And it appears to me, there's a problem. And I said it some time ago, that the problem that you're experiencing is, and what you see and don't like, it's been socially engineered. And it's unfortunate, but true. Whereas, let's take, for example, you've got what some would say in America, white trash. And in America, they may call the black version ratchet. Unfortunately, in this country, we've got a high percent of individuals that really got basic education. They're not like other groups where it's a norm to have 5 O-levels. That's a police officer's entry level.
Yeah.
So you talk about people who have degrees. And a lot of, I can't even say just white middle class.
You can just quickly interject there, Reese. What you just said is very important and pungent, because we're in a group that are influenced not to have any education, not to have any papers. Again, these little fringe groups again telling you, don't have any papers, don't get educated, don't bother with these things, remain ignorant, so they can manipulate you. Go on.
Sorry.
No, go on.
I didn't mean to walk on you.
No, go on.
Yeah, you've been making a couple of points I thought was interesting, and to a degree, the brother made a point as well. Unfortunately, if I were to juxtapose a scenario to you, just showing you that what you're saying is correct. You've got these fringe groups, as you say, and it's the same playbook, and you don't see no results. In fact, if anything, things have got worse. I'm going to say something now, which is equally true. And you only have to do a cursory investigation to realize, wow, I never saw it like that before. Now, in this country, we've got several parties, but the main ones are Labour and let's just say Tories. Forget Lib Dems. Tories. Which one of the... Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. Which one of the two parties that black people vote for the most?
It's Labour, isn't it? Obviously.
Yeah. In high proportion, yeah?
And there are a few blacks in Tories as well. There are quite a few blacks in Tories as well, but not as much as in Labour.
Okay. So, I suppose, would I be safe in saying most people would agree with that assumption? Or not assumption, that revelation, that discussion, that, most black people in this country vote Labour. Do you reckon most people would say, yeah, that's true?
Yeah.
Okay. Which of the two parties promotes homosexuals, transgender, open borders? We all know open borders is a bad thing, because if you've got a car, you've got a key for your car, because you don't know everybody coming in and abusing your hard-earned paid for car.
Labour.
Likewise, your house or your flat, you have a door and you invite who you want in. You just don't have an open door. So we know open door policy is a bad policy. Which of the two parties does that?
It's Labour.
Right. So, black people generally are conservative in nature, in that, generally speaking, they believe in one man, one woman, fall in love, say, before God, family and friends, you commit yourselves, and you do the right thing and raise your family. It's a conservative principle. Most Caribbeans, especially your mums and your dads, follow that. It's just a truism, is a truism. Who promotes abortion, brought it in? Which of the two parties? Who promotes single motherism? And whose core policy, written in the 1848, I believe, actually says they want what you see today? Which of the two parties do you think promotes that? And cannot deny it, because it's written. And he who reads can find it.
Labour, innit?
Which of the two parties?
Labour, mate. Labour.
Right. So, if you were to juxtapose that with the Democrats, right, and the Republicans, which of the two parties 98% of blacks vote for?
We're in America.
Yeah.
I don't know, I couldn't tell you.
Democrats.
Okay.
Which of the two parties, the Republican and Democrats, had the terrorist wing, the Ku Klux Klan?
Well, again, you have to tell me, mate. I know the American politics.
Democrats.
Yeah.
Which of the two parties, now this is going to marry with your councils, alright? This is one of the points I wanted to bring. So think state, think council. Think state, think council. In America, there are certain states controlled by Republicans and some by Democrats. And in this country, some councils run by Labour and run by the Tories. When you see these mass shootings, okay, where do you think those mass shootings, and forget the mass shootings for a while, you know, the black and black shootings as well. What states do you think you find that?
You tell me.
Democrat. Of the two states, you know that you've got people saying, oh, we want to, we don't like the Second Amendment, we want to ban guns. Where do you think, and they've got strict laws that you can't own guns, where do you think the shootings happen? I'll cut to the chase. It happens in Democrat states where they have the most stringent laws and laws against possession of guns. Where you have open carry policy and guns, guess where the bad guys don't want to go and won't want to shoot up? Republican states that have the means to defend yourself. So if Johnny whosoever goes into the shopping mall in the Republican, well, no one's going to prevent crime, because crime happens because crime happens. But should he think he's going to shoot 100 people, he may shoot 2.
Yeah.
But some old granny's going to come up with a Saturday night special and say, bang, that's the end of you.
That's right.
I hit the newspapers. I'm a hero. And they're going to roll out the ticker tape.
Yeah.
But in the Democrats, where it's bad to have guns, that's where they go in. They don't always shoot down the granny. They shoot down the security, and they shoot as much and do as much damage as they will. So we've had a Labour government under Tony Blair. Finally, you got this, things will only get better. And all this nonsense. Who do you think was selling off assets to the max and anything?
Who's that?
It was Labour. Did you get your reparations? Did they care about you? No. The problem is education. And when we do educate, it's such a rare thing to hear certain things, we tend to shoot that messenger down. We tend to ridicule that messenger. And we kill our own champions, if you will, because he's not saying what we want to hear. If you want things to change, you're right. Look at those people who've been saying, oh, and they're still here. Look at those people that are talking about garbage, and they're still here. And what did they solve? What problems have they solved?
None.
What youths have they influenced?
None.
There you go. There you go. So if you could say to yourself, don't bother with them, you also have to hold your party to account. And if you could read the account, and it says minus 35, not 0, but there are no pluses, why are you voting for them? You cannot be a grown man and say, my mum done it, I'm going to do it too.
No.
Sometimes your mum's wrong. Sometimes your father's wrong. Sometimes, and this is what people have children for, you raise children because you want them to have better chances than you had and to be the newer and improved.
Well, I think
if you are the newer and improved, why would you be cutting your parents because they made you the newer and improved?
Yeah, but the thing is, you miss one important point. For people like voting for Tory, who was involved in the Windrush and caused a lot of people a lot of misery and thing, they would say, well, why? Although there's a lot of black people who vote for Tory, they're going to say, well, why would I vote for somebody who wants to get rid of me out of the country, brethren? I can see that point of view. Well, it doesn't change the politics, brethren. We just have to partake in it.
I hear that. I hear that. Which party was the one that invited people over and offered the jobs?
Labour.
And when black people finally came over, which was the party that gave that no black Irish dogs and had the problems with the gangster landlords? Which party?
But again,
you're going to look at the history for what it is, not for what you feel it to be, not you personally. I'm saying you've got to do a multivariate analysis of the situation you are in to understand, I'm smelling stuff. This not no meadow. This is the toilet. And we keep flushing it ourselves.
I can see Neveyah's not really interested in politics. Yeah, she's just quite sitting there.
You're quite right. You're quite right that if you're... Politics is the main thing about everything. I mean, even if you are running a canteen, you're going to have to do procurement about how much you're going to get buns in because you're selling burgers and when's the best time to sell them. You're still going to do some form of politics. Who gets the jobs to do the late shift, the early shift? Politics is all part of our life.
That's right.
The fact that you don't like a personality in a given party
doesn't mean nothing.
The fact that a personality maybe works for big tobacco company, Ken Clark for argument's sake, and it's only self-interested. It's the more that you need better men, good men, conscientious men, intelligent men that are not persuaded by the filthy lucre. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can read this.
People who even come from nothing, if you will. Sort of the earth people who know the real struggle. So if that's your representative, if that's your man, if that's your lady, that's what you need. And you need to listen. People need to listen to hear the other side, to give themselves a chance to say, I have heard the other side, and you know what? I'm weighing it up. And to be honest,
that's right.
I don't hear this regularly enough. I wish I did. I wouldn't have been a fool 20 years, or 10 years, or 3 years.
Well, that's what we need to do. We need to start to use our brain, brethren, and realise we're not going to get anything out of this system unless we go the political way, brethren. Simple as that.
Well, you got to own it.
Yeah, we've got to own that. Yeah, that's right. We've got to dominate it.
Your ancestors, if you will, pay the price.
Yeah.
White people's ancestors paid the price in the Industrial Revolution. I can give you many old stories. I want to switch to the police. There's a video going around about a youth who was put to the ground. And the police put the knee on him and all the rest of it, and the pepper spray. I don't know if you've seen it or not. I heard somebody on the radio say he wasn't resisting arrest.
Okay.
I'm thinking, then you're deaf, dumb and blind, and you need the microphone shoved somewhere. Because it's clear he resisted arrest. You just got to look at it to know what resisting arrest is.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, if someone has the right to ask you a question, and you've done nothing, you answer the question. If you were caught and they're asking you a question, or asking you a command of you because you're guilty of doing something, I know one thing. I don't want my face pushed down in the rain.
That's right.
In the gutter. I don't want knee in my back, because these are the techniques they use. They have the license and the right to use it if you're non-compliant.
That's right.
You live in England, understand the command. Don't tell me about take it easy. Take what easy? I wasn't being easy when I asked you something.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't want to do it peacefully, what happens?
Yeah.
And what I don't want to see is black people knee-jerking. Oh, we're out there burning stuff. For what? If it were you, you comply. And I'll tell you something else what people need to know. If you're wrongfully arrested and taken to the cells, you get paid for every hour when they admit that, oh, this was wrong. You do get money. And if they hold you for 12 hours, it's a good sum. Of course, people don't say it. I don't know why. Maybe they're not aware of it. So they can make mistakes all day long.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable, I dare say, sitting in a cell if that's not your thing. But you have to know, you've got to pick your battles, and they've won this one. They were wrong to win it. They took their day, they humiliated me and all the rest of it. But I'll be sitting there, I'll get my lawyer, and they'll know that they were wrong. And we're going to find out how long was I there, what else did they do that was wrong, and they're going to have to pay a bill. It's real.
Okay.
We've got to educate people, and the only time we do that is by using this medium to do this. And unfortunately, we play stupid music, and as Tommy Scott might say, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, and then lament and complain about it after the fact.
All right.
This don't make no sense to me. But I'll leave it there.
Yeah, enough respect. Yeah, man. Respect all the time. Bless all the time. Cool. Right. Thank you for that call there, Reese. That's right. We've got a text we're going to read before the end of the show, so no more calls for now because we want to get through these texts. We have DJ Riggs into the in the area, ready to saddle up and get cracking with those beautiful music tones where he's got there. So we'll quickly just read through some texts.
From 8177, greetings. I've been trying to phone through for the longest time. Very interesting show today. We'll keep it short. Here's a few things contributing to the increase in gang violence. Post-traumatic stress syndrome from trauma. A lot of youths have seen and experienced. Very true. Some youths are walking around with stab-proof vests on.
Wow.
2. A massive cuts in 2010 and increasing poverty. Increasing the children being excluded from school and put in crews where they are usually criminalised and exposes to gangs. It's true because I remember when my son was 14, he walked around with a stab-proof vest.
Really?
Yeah, and he wasn't a road kid.
Is that why they stabbed them in the neck now? Because they got stab-proof vests on, so they go for the neck.
Yeah.
Terrible,
open areas, groin.
The groin, yeah.
Yeah, where the main arteries are. When the main arteries are, you're guaranteed to bleed out.
On your legs, yeah, groin. Wow, that is what you call premeditated because you're going for really vulnerable areas where you know you're just not protected. But anyway, time is 5:54 and counting. But is there a moral to this story here? What we have today with the youths and their feelings, but they've got to remember one thing: you're going to get old one day, and there's nothing worse than an old-time bad man, brethren.
You'd know.
There's nothing worse than an old-time bad man. I used to have one working with me at London Transport, it was so pathetic.
Why?
No, because it had his day. See, the thing what people don't realise about life, you could have bad like yours. When it comes down to life saying, hold your horses, you can't do nothing about it. And the people, I know of one in South London, he's crying and every day he's crying. Because he wishes he had never done some of the stuff that he's done. He can't sleep at night, brethren, for the amount of people he's killed. So, you know what? I'm thank Ra that I can go. You see me? When I hit my pillar, brethren, I'm gone, Doesn't matter how, how it goes. Because why? My mind and my heart is clean. I ain't killed nobody, I ain't stabbed no one, I ain't chopped nobody up. You know what I mean? Anything like that. So I haven't undermined my neighbour. You know what I mean? So I can enjoy my sleep. But you can imagine those who can't sleep at night. The faces of those which they've done wrong, they've murdered or whatever, sliced up or whatever.
If they have a conscience.
Yeah, but see, if they have a conscience. What I call that conscience, I call it the judge. They've murdered the judge inside of them, because the judge is your conscience is your judge that tells you what's wrong and right, brethren. If you override that, a lot of these bad boy, they ain't got no conscience for real. They killed the judge in them, murdered the judge. Anyway, join me tomorrow for my for my show. I'll be on tomorrow, between the hours of. I'll try to get here for 10, but it's murder, mate. Don't tell me, but you know how far I got to come from, Bridget. I'm sorry.
An hour.
I know. I do apologise for that, but the traffic on a Sunday is horrendous. I'm gonna have to leave my house 11 o'clock to reach somewhere for 2 o'clock, which is, come on, man. I mean, no, what? No, it's not that. I've got to have some life. Come on, man. You've got to give Heru some life. I mean, I do 4 days a week here when I can, most times. So on a Sunday now, after go home Friday, I mash up brethren. So Sunday come Sunday, I'm not even resting. So you got to see with me, be merciful with I. So you want to say your goodbyes?
Goodbye, people.
She's knackered now. She's ready to sleep.
No, he had me standing outside for an hour.
Sorry.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
But anyway, be blessed, be safe, and be good.
Woo-ha! Yeah, well, it's true. I do apologise for that. But as I said, next time you wait for me, when I say wait, I mean wait. I'll call you when I'm there. But she was so enthusiastic, you see, so she just did.
No. He told me, be here, be sharp, on time.
Don't lie to the people. Jinal, my God. You said anybody go to jail, wouldn't you?
Oh, gosh. Not quite.
Right, DJ Riggs up next with a beautiful soul session, taking us into the evening. Lovely day outside this afternoon, done about now, probably dark. It's almost dark now as winter's come around. So let's snuggle up together, with Genesis. You know what I mean? And this is time of love making. Let's make love, not war, brethren. We don't want to be angst. Let's try and find a feel-good factor, man. Come on, man. Life is about feeling good, not being upset and angst and everything like that, man, winding you up as tight as an alarm clock, just letting you go like that. You love those things? We don't love that here in Genesis. We want to just be cordial with each other, harmonious, loving. So tune into my Heru show tomorrow, between the hours of 10 and whenever. Maybe a bit late, but don't worry about it. If you tune in, you don't hear me by 10:30. You don't hear me. Don't worry. Eyes are coming, massa. Eyes are coming. I will endeavour, of course, to be there early, because CEO says, "Heru, get the damn place on time, man." Today I was a bit late again, but I swear I'm working on this. I'm gonna have to leave my house at a time when I didn't really want to leave, especially on a Sunday. It's psychological, to having to leave on a weekend where you should be resting, but after working 4 days a week, man, you know what I mean? So I will improve. Don't worry about it. And as time goes on, we're approaching Christmas now, whatever the festive seasons for everybody. Don't be a spoiled sport and spoil it for everyone. You want everybody to become angry and angst like yourself. Joy. Let's have joy. This is our main thing. If we're the first people on the face of the planet, we should be able to produce joy in society. People should come to us as black people because we're the most harmonious and loving people, and they love to be around us. We're getting more barbarian than the barbarian himself. Rise up, Steve, down there in the woolly side of things with your family. Bless up and everything. And I look forward to you joining me tomorrow. Ra willing. We can just go through some mysteries. Well, there's only one thing left for me to say, and that is what I always say, and that is, this is Heru saying, I am out.
Accept your own Genesis and be yourself. Genesis Radio thanks you for your visit.